Afrofish OG.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 24 of Afro in the Know. We have made it. I almost knocked my shit off. We have made it to 24 episodes, and I'm excited because our special guest today, all the way from, I guess I met you over in like one of my lives on the TikTok land, which was incredibly quick. It's actually probably one of the fastest I've ever had. Like, hey, you want to do an interview thing? Sure, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. So this is it Parra? Just
Sara.
Sara.
Mhm.
I don't know why I'm bad at names.
It's a riff off my name, but also because I used to just go by Spara only. I went into I'm gonna age myself here. I went into an AOL chat as
Whoa.
Spara, and somebody typed in "This is Spara," and I was like, "Well, that's my username now."
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of what I like when I said the brain immediately went to it.
Yep, and that's
But
where it
no,
came
that's
from.
awesome. I love that. Like sometimes I think it's funny how we get our usernames sometimes
Mhm.
because
My
oh
my
goodness,
OG AOL instant messenger name was the baggy shirt for like the longest time.
the baggy shirt.
Because I used to wear baggy shirts because I used to be not quite as embracing of my figure, and so I used to wear really baggy shirts to like hide myself.
Mhm.
So I used to just go by the baggy shirt, and then after that, I did Spara because I started doing art and stuff online. Back when DeviantArt was relevant. Not that it's not irrelevant.
Mm.
DeviantArt's a thing, but
Even
back
that is
when it was a lot more popular amongst independent artists before oh god, what's the new one that gets used? There's one where VFX creators go. I forget the name of it. Forgive me. But
no, I don't know.
there's a new art submission place and it's not DeviantArt anymore.
Okay, well that's fair. That's fair. I mean, you got to find places that are going to be better, anyways. Is
Yeah.
but I'm for those who don't know, for those who
ArtStation.
are new here, I want like I'm gonna shut up now, and you got the floor on this one. So for those who don't know much about you, what are you all about?
I'm Spara. I'm also known, you can just call me Sarah. I'm totally fine with that. I used to work in the entertainment industry. I was in the entertainment industry for about a decade. So my first part of my career was filmmaking, and I did shipping and logistics coordination specifically. Then the next part after that, I did a lot of YouTube and new media. I used to work for Philip DeFranco, and I was the editor in chief of SourceFed.com. So
Oh,
if anybody in the audience knows either one of those things,
mm.
um, if you ever went to SourceFed.com, you read something I wrote,
No,
most
that's
likely.
awesome.
Um,
I know Philip. Like, I know of Philip DeFranco. Like,
hmm,
I've seen his stuff, and every once in a while he pops up on like my TikTok and stuff like that, giving me some news, and I'm like, okay, cool.
yeah. Obviously, good time there. And then after that, I worked for New Media Rockstars, which I think now they used to be a YouTube gossip rag, and then I was there when they reinvented themselves as a like new media forward company rather than like
Okay.
let's talk gossip about YouTubers. uh, there's so much drama out there.
Oh, I can only imagine. I mean,
um, so I worked for them for a little while during that reestablishment, and then after that, I was editor in chief in interim with What's Trending for a little while. Um, then I wrote for The Richest for like a hot minute,
oh wow.
uh, and then after after that, I started. I was just working like because you gig in Hollywood. That's the way it works. You go from like
Mhm.
one gig to another. Um, so in between gigs, you work normal jobs. My normal job was GameStop, and it turns out that
No,
my
good stuff.
oh, hey camera,
Oh, oh,
wake
nothing.
up. Hello. Hello. I'm over here. So I worked at GameStop, and that was where we met some. I say we, it was me and my manager. My manager and myself both kind of got poached from GameStop by someone who worked at Infinity Ward, who kind of wanted to know more about like our gaming experiences and stuff. And Infinity Ward was looking at the time for new QA testers. Um, so that's how we ended up hired at Infinity Ward, and I worked for them for almost a year during the development process of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the remake. So the first of the remake series, essentially. Um, my responsibilities within that was that I QA tested 3 of the missions, and my I think my lasting mark on that game that's visible, which is really it's so stupid. The way that you know I visually worked on that game is when you start in a level where you play as Farah for the first time and you are escaping, not when she's a child, but when she's an adult and you are escaping the prison. The reason that there is handcuffs on the bed after you get up is because I pointed out that if Farah was handcuffed, then the handcuffs would be somewhere.
Oh,
So
I
that's the
mean,
only reason why that's there.
that's fair.
Those are all of the things that QA testers tend to look out for, not just for like issues with the game itself, but also issues in continuity as well. Um, so
No, it's cool because that's like, in a way, I mean, it's kind of like an editor, in a way, like it is
yeah,
like an editor, making sure everything's all taken care of, making sure that everything makes sense.
mhm. and
Like,
and like sometimes it's like sometimes you can be like, hey, you know what? There should be handcuffs here, and sometimes you submit a bug saying that gas cans don't actually explode in real life and get turned down on that one.
it's still explode. That's ridiculous.
It's
That's ridiculous.
actually true, and one of the things that I was like, I knew it was a joke bug. It wasn't like a real bug. It was something that I submitted after hours. Like no one took it seriously. It was not considered a big deal. But I submitted like the scientific breakdown of when fuel ignites, because fuel ignites at a specific temperature, and a bullet, when fired, does not reach that temperature. So you actually cannot fire at a gas can and ignite it. That is a movie and video game myth, unfortunately.
I'm forever going to. I'm never going to be able to like play the game. Like, this doesn't actually. Wow.
This
Like,
doesn't actually happen in real life. If you shoot the red gas can, it will blow up on you in the game. But if you were to do that in real life, nothing would happen.
I mean, probably just get the cop showing up. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, oh, definitely that. Definitely that. Also, I think Mythbusters took this one on as well, but they did it with a barrel, and apparently it does work if the barrel is open. It's
Oh,
something to do with like
if you
oh no
like,
no, it's something to do with how full the barrel is, because gasoline emits fumes, and the
yeah.
fumes have a lower uh, ignition rate. So if you fire into a barrel that's mostly empty, the fumes will ignite, but
Oh,
not
okay.
the actual gasoline.
That's new. That's new to me. So, are you telling me to blow up from
Cars do not blow up from bullets.
but I put like 20 rounds into it. Like,
I will I will admit I was being cheeky with that bug. I'm so sorry to my devs for doing that to them. That was mean.
like you gave them the like, actually, like,
I truly did give them an actually moment, but it was so part of your training is like you have to write like test bugs,
right.
right? Like you have to prove that you can write a bug because there is a specific format in which they're written. Every company has a different way of doing it, every different formatting
Okay.
type. They Not everybody does the same thing, but basically when you submit a bug ticket, you kind of have to be like, this is the bug that I'm experiencing, here's how it's reproducible, here's the recording of it.
Okay.
um and so like it was one of my first bugs. I was just being like a little a little rat, a goblin, so to speak.
and I'm guessing like they looked at it and they're like, bruh.
Oh, it was immediately returned back. They were like, but they were polite about it. The dev wrote a note. They were like, "Thank you very much for submitting this bug, but unfortunately, we are not considering this in the future." Like,
they could have just gave you no, and like just
fair point. Fair point. I got a little. What is it like? Like when you nug your like brother over it. Like you just But
that's awesome.
But yeah, so I was there for the development cycle of that, and then since then I am semi-retired essentially because I had health stuff happened, so I ended up I've not been in the industry for like about 3 years now.
Mhm.
Um,
And
but
my question to you is, sorry about that.
yeah.
So like, is that like, was it stressful? Like, was it
Oh
stressful being
yeah.
a QA tester?
So yes and no, because I enjoy finding bugs. Like
Mhm.
it's something that I have an unfortunate natural inclination for. Like I found and this is not related to bugging at all. I was in Destiny, and when they released the Shining City, Luminant City, my brain doesn't quite remember. It's the curse, the city that has a curse on it
Oh,
every week, and it
okay.
changes. Um, so I found out that there's a certain part of the map it's where like three little rocks meet, and if you jump into it, you will go through the map and land on an invisible platform. And then if you walk along that invisible platform, if you look down, you can see the other version of the city. So the way that the curse works in Destiny is they have like basically the world that you're on, then there's a smaller world, but it's the same level, and they just make the players smaller and put them on it essentially. That's my guess, because you could see a smaller version of the level, but
Mhm.
you could see like the little curse droplets on it, and I'm like, is that how they do it every week? Is they just like load everybody into a smaller instance of this particular area? It was wild. So I have a propensity for finding stuff like that. Also, I'm so sorry. Do you
Uh,
allow cursing? Are you
no,
good with
yeah, you're good.
cursing?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Uh so like that's usually the shit I'd find is stuff like that. So I break games. Not
No,
intentionally.
that's awesome though, because it's like it reminds me of what is it, that Rick and Morty when they have the miniverse inside the mind.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm
That's
like,
basically what it looked like to me. So I was like, that's so neat. Just for the record, like anybody who's watching, I do not know if that is how they do those instances. That's just what it looked like to me. Um,
that's fair.
so
That's so cool.
I had that like I had that on video because I took a video of it on my PlayStation. So I showed them. I was like, look, this is the stuff that I find. These are the things that I've done in games. Like there was one time where I loaded into it was a uh it was a raid boss of a Vex in Destiny, and when I loaded in for some reason, under the map, completely under the map, couldn't fire. I could see all of my friends above me running around. I could see the grass texture, but I couldn't see the ground. I was just totally under the map.
That that reminds me of. I'm sure you play this World at War,
Mhm,
and I think it was Courtyard, where if
mhm,
you did something, did specific thing, you could sit underneath the map, but you could still keep your you could still keep your gun pointed up,
mhm,
and so you could technically still fire and still get kills. You just they couldn't actually hit you.
mhm. One of the things that we had to constantly like bug, so to speak, were the containers. Because there's a lot of container like shipping containers in the
Oh yeah,
levels,
yeah.
right? Or excuse me, in the missions. There's lots of shipping containers.
Mhm.
Um, so we had to make sure, because the way that a game is kind of laid out is you have like your graphical texture, and then you have like dev created barriers. That's where you get invisible walls from, but that's also
Mm.
how you don't walk through stuff, right? So
Mhm.
somebody has to like map out the barriers that will stop the player, essentially.
Okay.
And we had to make sure that every single one of those containers had a barrier on it, because you do not want to release a game where somebody can stand inside of a container and shoot at players in multiplayer and not be seen. You don't want them to be able to like hide
Yeah,
within the
nobody likes.
geography of the game.
Yeah, nobody likes that. Nobody.
No.
No. 'Cause
You
once
don't
you
want
find
someone to
that
clip
out,
through a wall. Yeah.
yeah, no, especially in those multiplayer ones. So when you were doing your bug testing,
Hmm.
um, was it like you said you had fun? You had fun doing it. It was just the finding the ones.
Mhm.
Um, so were you like? I wonder how to say this. Um, were you typically on a big team of people?
Oh yeah. Um I believe there was 100 of us. If you look at the credits on Modern Warfare, you'll see like a big list of people. That list also includes people who might have left the employ of the company for one reason or another.
Hmm.
They don't like not give someone a credit even if they were only there for like a couple weeks. If
Yeah,
that
that's
makes sense.
fair.
So it's a huge list, but I'd say around the time that I was there was about 100 of us, and we were specifically the in-house team for Infinity Ward, because there was a separate, because like uh Modern Warfare was not made in a vacuum. So like we had Activision on it, we also had Sledgehammer Games, we also had Raven. So there were bugging teams all in those areas as well.
Okay.
So I'm speaking solely to Infinity Ward. If you were to add up all of the buggers that ever worked on the game, you're probably going to hit like 1,000 people.
Oh my gosh. And they could still get underneath that map. It's
That's what I'm saying, is like there is no like be a little bit nicer to devs. I am a big proponent of be a little bit nicer to devs. They've got a whole lot of pressure on them, not just from the player base, not just from their superiors, but also from their colleagues, because you have everybody is kind of like, and this isn't just specifically to this game, but the way that the development cycle is kind of done is you have like your studio heads, you have your, and then you have like your like heads of the departments, and then you have your producers, and then you have your developers,
Mhm.
right? And basically producers kind of facilitate, they like facilitate communication between QA and the developers, and they also facilitate communication between the developers and the department heads.
It's like a middleman. Like,
Basically they're like the on the ground like runners. So like they're not just getting pressure from their higher ups. If something's not right, the producer will approach them and be like, hey, this thing is still not fixed, why is it not fixed? So it's I'd say it's a very, game development altogether is a very stressful job. It doesn't have to be.
no.
We see people like Concerned Ape doing wonders and getting their own team and doing extraordinarily well.
Mhm.
We see the gentleman behind Sledding Game, right? Sledding Game, I don't know if you've seen the TikToks of it. It's gained a rather large community. It's this one man development team created a game where you sled with your friends. It's very simple. It's a very cute, cozy game, right? And at
Mhm.
first, it started off with just sledding down the hill, and then people were like, "Oh, can you make the character like? Can you make a penguin?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And he would make a penguin and add the penguin to the game. Now it's got like, I believe like 16,000 people played the demo,
Wow.
something to that effect, because of his development blogs on TikTok. So like,
That's fair. That's fair. I mean,
it's
that's awesome. Like from because I mean, I think what's interesting is seeing kind of a bit of a rise of these like one development. Like I love seeing that. I think Bellatra was one of the most recent ones where I believe
yep,
was one person, and I've heard nothing but positive things from Bellatra.
Belatra's great.
Um, there was another one off the top. Oh, wasn't Stardew Valley? Wasn't that one person?
Yeah, that's Concerned Ape.
Oh, that's Concerned Ape. Okay.
That is Concerned Ape.
Yeah.
He's releasing. So there is a team now, which good for him. I think that he needed one.
Oh, yeah, I know
He
for
was
how big
handling
Stardew
so
Valley
much
got.
alone,
Oh,
because he's also developing a second game called Haunted Chocolatier.
okay. Another cozy kind of.
I'm not sure. He's been a bit vague on it. It looks like it's a cozy thing, but it also looks like it might be a little creepy. I'm not sure.
I'm
I've
sure it's
also
yeah. It's
I've
like a
also
long.
admittedly kept my head down on it because I want to like if there's something I really want to play, I will not look. I won't look at anything.
That's what I did with Expedition 33 is like I
Yep.
made sure I didn't really watch anything on it. Hey, have you seen the new trailer for Expedition? No, don't tell me about
Nope.
it. I don't
Don't
care.
tell me anything.
I did the
Don't
same thing with
tell.
Overwatch, and that's why I learned to love Overwatch so much.
I
Um,
I have I have good look. I know it's got a toxic community. I know it does. It's not as toxic as Marvel Rivals now, but uh
uh,
I
at
know
this point, Marvel Rivals. Oh my gosh.
that's where did you see that gentleman Capone VO? I think is his name on
Yeah,
TikTok
yeah.
saying that women don't belong in gaming when he in fact was the reason why his match tanked.
Yeah.
Flats went over his match. That's insane. One of the most competitive players went through your match and
Mm-hmm.
was like, "No, you're dog shit."
Dog shit, bro. Like, and the he ended up doubling down on it too, and then it was like you guys just don't understand what I'm actually trying to talk about, and I'm like, yeah, because nobody fucking cares. Like when you start your shit off by trying to say that like you try to do it to me, it's like you try to do it to get to inflammatory, right? We're trying to
Yeah,
you could say you're trying to spark the
it's
fire.
a grift.
Yeah, it is. It's a grift, but it wasn't a good grift. That's the
No.
thing. It was a bad grift. And because it was a bad grift, you got flamed for it. So when you double down on it, this is why I'm like the fact that a pro is going like, bro, you just suck. Like that oh my gosh. And I'm just, what gets me the most mad about it is this is the shit that people fight on a regular fucking basis.
Mhm.
This kind of shit you fight on a regular fucking basis. So
Mhm.
to turn around and do it because your ass at it. And that
I
no,
I
come on.
will say this, and I will say the COD community has gotten better. Not best, better. Certainly I would say it's a lot better to play through a COD lobby as a female than playing like Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
I will say in terms of like community toxicity. Um but I will say that during my time when cuz I also worked on Warzone as well.
Mhm.
I not just Modern Warfare, but I did also the Warzone bugging as well. And so for like giggles, I popped into a Warzone game. Like you know how like devs pop in? I popped in as a QA tester. Cuz we always ask. We always ask. And no lie, every time I was on mic, I'd be like, "Okay, guys, you've got to." I was like, "I'm flanking over to the left," or "You've got a guy top right in the window," or something like that. The very next thing would be like, "Oh shit, we got a girl. We got a girl. We're gonna lose." And at one point, one of the guys that was in there with me was like, "We're on the dev team. Shut up."
Like I can make sure that your account does never touches this screen again.
I
Like
and It was you know, it is what it is, but some dudes are gonna trash talk, and they're gonna and if it's not women, it's gonna be like, "Oh, it's these 9-year-olds I'm playing with." If it's not the 9-year-olds, then it's like, "Oh, this guy's not healing me," and or it's they'll always find someone else to blame for their, lack of skill.
they're incredibly good at like being like Neo the Matrix when it comes to like accountability. Like it is
That is certainly a way to put it, for
it,
sure.
it's wild to me how many especially even just through my own small COD career of just watching people who are like, no, fuck you. The game is you're just terrible at it. It was my teammates were down, my blah blah blah. And I'm like, I've seen what happens when you lock in. One of my favorite moments of COD I played was from Black Ops 1. We were playing, I believe the map was called Cracked.
Mhm.
And we were down 6,500 to 74 because the score was 7,500. We came
Mhm.
back and won. like all of us, it was like everyone jumped on mic, and it was the most intense thing ever. And it was like that sticks with me for the rest of my life. That was so much fun.
I love that. I
Oh my
love
god,
when
when
stuff.
everyone locks
Oh,
in.
when everybody is like, okay, we are gonna get this, is
Mhm.
fantastic. Um, that said, uh, it's very different behind the scenes. I will say this. With all the stuff that's happened with like Riot, for example, and Blizzard, for example, um,
Yeah,
I can say that while my time within like game development cycle was short, it was very positive, and at no point did gender ever come into play,
that's just great.
which is phenomenal.
That is,
You
yeah, that
know,
is fantastic.
like to see that is like one of the things that was like, no, we're not having this. And I was not like, it's not like I was the only girl on the team. I wasn't. There was a handful of women on the team.
Mhm.
Um, comparatively, yes, much smaller than like the male, but like as it is with gaming, like there's not a lot of women who want to go through. Uh,
And they shouldn't. They shouldn't have to
yeah.
deal with that in order to just even, whether it's to just get a spot or literally just be a part of the job that fucking hired you.
Hmm. Hmm. That reminds me of how there was a woman who was hired to Bell Labs, which is a hugely and I find that the issues in STEM are also the same issues that you find in tech.
Oh,
Um, so this woman got hired at Bell Labs, and it took months for them to acknowledge that she wasn't a secretary, that she was there as a scientist. And then even after that, her clearance got revoked. So she ended up not being able to do anything for like an additional year.
the fuck.
It was it's a thing. It's a thing. It is nice to see more women in STEM. It is wonderful to see more women in gaming. I think like we should have more ladies within it. I think that we find a lot of the really good I've seen a lot of videos online of like ladies who are playing and they're just like amazing top level snipers.
Mhm.
Like no like quick scope snipers, and I'm just like, that's fantastic. Please give me more. More of you.
No, and that's and I think when it comes to having just like the women in gaming they give different perspectives. They've given us some of the best stories that people have like wanted. Um, I believe if it wasn't for RPGs were started, I think, basically by women, if I remember right. Um, I could be wrong exactly, but I believe it was something like that around that. I could be wrong. I'm gonna get flamed for it if I'm wrong.
I'm curious. I'm looking it
Um,
up right now.
the first one I think of is I believe, yeah, our like we're um
Let's see. I'm looking right now. I see like there's a lot of like early collaboration. Uh,
yeah.
what like, but this is also telling me early days in D&D, not gaming.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still
I
huge.
mean, Samus
Um
was a girl in the beginning.
Thamus was
Samus was like I think as of Metroid 2, or no, as of the
well,
first
it
Metroid.
was the
As
first
of,
one. Yeah, it was the
yeah.
first one because she took her helmet off and
Hmm.
like people
But
were
you
like
had to have
amazed by it.
but you had to have beaten the game, and so many people didn't.
My first time was Smash Bros. Because
Oh yeah.
if you shocked her with Pikachu, you could see the outline underneath. And like I remember the first time I was like, wait. And I was like mind blown. I was like, 6, 7 years old. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Cause her armor Samus is such a badass. Like I'm
Samus
just
is a dope character.
she is so cool. And I'm like, I love Metroid. Like Metroid Prime is like Metroid Prime 2 especially is my personal favorite. And it is on my list. I think it's like number 2 on my list of like my favorite games of all time. And so like when I play that game and knowing that like every time, she don't say much. She's not a woman of a lot of words,
Nope.
but she's going to go kick ass, and that's all I cared about. Um,
That's why
she,
that one there was one Metroid game, Other M. That's what it was called. I had to look it up really fast because I could not remember it for the life of me. Uh, that one got so poorly reviewed
Mm-hmm.
because that's the one where Samus answers to a male authority, does not make
Adam Malkovich, I think, believe it was. Yeah.
does not make her own decisions,
Mm-mm.
and that there is a mechanic where she genuinely cowers in fear.
Which is crazy. Like I'm all for characters like let's having like especially if it's old time with Samus, like
Mm,
way beforehand, having issues. Because I
mm,
believe that was part of it. Like her having issues, sure. Her going, like let's say Adam Malkovich is the person above her,
mhm,
sure. But like it's how it's done. And a lot of
mhm,
times when a character like Samus is also really used to being alone. Um her um being able to buck what he has to say or being able to work together with this person is
mhm,
more important. Like that's what it does bother me for that because and I'm glad, you know what, to be honest with you, I'm
mhm.
glad it did get panned. This sounds really mean, but like I'm glad it kind of got panned
Yep.
because it did show that the people knew Samus. I think it felt like they knew Samus better than like the devs did at that time.
Which does happen on occasion. I think other I'm not sure if it was like a similar development team. I'll be honest. I don't know who was on that,
I believe it
but
was
I
Team Ninja.
was it.
I believe, I believe Metroid Other M, I believe it was Team Ninja.
Oh, yep, Team Ninja and Nintendo SPD.
Oh, good job, Brain. Like I owe you a beer.
Wait, no, that's how it goes bad.
Uh,
um, I will say, I think it is fair to show fear and hesitance. Like a good example, I think, would be Resident Evil. Was it 8? The one where the one that was first person. It was the first one that was first person. It's
7.
one at 7. So when 7 came out, you saw Ethan being like trying to like stabilize himself and stuff like that. It didn't affect gameplay.
No, and
That was that was the difference.
another one I think about you is Lara from the Survivor series of Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
They,
Oh my
like
god.
I mean, she had like what multiple moments where she basically just broke down.
Mhm.
I mean, and then when she's like, okay, I have to keep moving because the only other option is death.
Yep.
And so when like my favorite actually equals up to one of my favorite quotes, is when she kills the guy for the first time.
Mhm.
And she's talking with Ross, I believe. And Ross is like, was it terrifying? And she said, what's terrifying is how easy it was.
Roth.
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 No,
Yeah.
no, so bad.
And that is like, and I feel like that also plays into, I feel like that's like also a societal thing. I will say I loved that series. I love Tomb Raider with all my heart and soul. It was one of my like OG games. But uh I am deeply disappointed in the sequel of that one because I was so excited to play as PTSD Alara, and it didn't
Oh
really
yeah.
it didn't really give you that. The
No,
trailers did.
yes, the trailer gave you the whole like either you crash from this or you quote unquote you rise from this,
Yep.
and you don't really get that at all.
Nope.
Like
Which
you
is
got like I want to say it's weird because like at some point I don't want to, she's not crazy, but like to the
no.
public and that's why I wish they would have shown a little more like how the public actually affects her because like it
Mhm.
affected it didn't really affect her father, but
Well,
like
it did a little bit because he was like considered a kook, wasn't he?
no, yeah,
Or is
yeah,
that
he's
or
not,
is
yeah,
that OG or is that OG Tomb Raider storyline?
no, you're right, that was the Survivor one, the
Mhm.
because he was pissed and she like one of her flashbacks because they weren't taking him seriously, and then that's when he got capped later on.
Right, yeah, because he
uh
ended up on the island.
yeah. Oh well, her father. I believe her father got capped because she got shot
Oh, no,
by
he
Trinity.
got somewhere else. That's right, that's right,
Yeah,
that's right, that's right.
it was Trinity that shot him.
That's right.
Because her, I don't know, it was like his girlfriend who was he was the guy or the woman that he was with, Anna was part of Trinity, I believe. and I
I
believe that was she was
think
in a
so.
relationship with him. Yes, I believe
It's
she
been
was in a
so long
relationship.
since I've played it.
Like, I go back to them at least like once a year. But I believe it was
I
yeah, I
should
believe,
too.
huh?
I should too.
Yeah, they're really good. Um, like they are really good. Like I always recommend them. But yeah, I believe it was he got I don't remember I don't remember if he killed himself
They
or I
made it
don't
look they made it look like it.
okay, yes, but he did yeah, she there that wasn't I don't know if it was her who
Yeah.
killed him though.
It says agents of in the brief overview
Okay.
that I'm looking through.
So yeah, I don't think it might have
Um,
been her because
but
they
he
were
dies
looking
all kinds of ways apparently.
yeah, they just do not like this guy staying alive. Like
In a so this is the AI answer, so trust it with as much grace as you care
uh,
to.
for that kind of stuff, I usually take it pretty like it's probably all right.
I mean, more often than not, you'll find that it's not.
Really.
Yeah,
Mm,
I've typed in like stuff into Google that I'm like, I know that this is factually incorrect.
that's
And the AI
crazy.
answer will give me the wrong answer. But according to this, it says the original timeline, he died in a plane crash on an expedition. The from Legends, he was killed by Jacqueline Natla, a former collaborator who betrayed him. And then in the reboot, it's first you think that he unalived himself, but it's later discovered that he was murdered by agents of the organization Trinity, who staged it to make it look like such.
Yes. No, that's fair. That's fair, and I think that's actually I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Because they said yeah, it was in Shadow of the Tomb Raider where you find out that she that that they staged it,
Hmm.
and it's I love characters like Lara, and I like seeing more of them. But like that's one I think I liked, I really enjoyed was the fact that she was vulnerable throughout the series. I mean, with someone like Samus, I'm not worried about Samus being too emotionally broken, especially for where she grew up, being part
Yeah.
of the Koza. That is a fucking area I would love to see.
Oh God, the Chozo area.
Mm-hmm. Was it
Is
Chozo
it
or
Chozo or
Kozo? I've always
Kozo?
called it Kozo. Uh,
It's
it's It's
CH.
CH. Yeah, I think it might be Chozo, but I've always called it Kozo.
I mean,
I thought this H was silent, but like,
listen, for the longest time, I thought dachshund, the word, was pronounced dachshund
oh
because I had never heard it said out loud,
no, that's fair.
right?
I don't.
I
I
just
don't.
found out I just found out Cerberus, that's not how you pronounce his name. It's
Cerberus.
Kerberos.
Kerberos.
It's Kerberos.
Yeah, I like Cerberus better.
Cause in it's also not Caesar, it's Kazar. And that's where the German word Kaiser is derived from. Because uh in the time in the language, a C at the beginning of a name is a hard k sound.
Huh. Shit. Okay. I, you know what? That's like one of those like the more you know kind of like things. I'm like, okay, no, he's
I
always gonna be
am
Caesar. Like he's just
I am, if anything, but a fountain of useless information.
same, same. Like I'm
um,
just I am the oh my gosh, did you see this kind of person? You're running with the phone like
yeah, I do that to my fiance all the time. It can really get on her nerves.
oh, I do it with my wife all the time too, and she's just like I'm like you have to see this. You're
You
not
have
paying
to,
attention.
you have to know. I I apologize. I hear my phone alarm going off, and if I don't go and touch it, it's gonna
Oh
keep
yeah,
going
you're
off
all good.
the
You're all
entire
good.
time. So I'm gonna just really quick run over there. I can still hear you though.
Oh, even better. But like and I think one thing I'll say that's very much I want to see for Samus is that whole I guess I'm still calling it Kozo. I don't care what anybody says. I'm calling it Kozo.
Kozo,
I want to see during her Kozo period
that'd be
because
cool.
I think there's a lot there. This is why I also was really excited for when I with 3, right? Metroid
Hmm.
Prime Corruption.
Hmm.
And I want more with Samus where there's other beings around her.
Yeah, I
Like
think it. I think it's they focus so much time on her being alone, right?
mhm.
And you're supposed to kind of in my opinion, feel that for her, right? Because like she can't feel it; she's a video game character. But
Right, right.
you can feel the loneliness, and thus you kind of like feel
When
connection to her in that
Yeah.
way.
Like, when you're playing the game and stuff and, like, you seeing yourself through the visor, through the helmet and everything, and, like, you do get that sense of isolation,
Mhm.
a lot, when it's just down to you and you're on your own hostile planet. This is why I love 2 so much was the fact that, like, the Ing and God, the arrival of Dark Samus was just so cool, like,
It was very
um,
good. I
and
liked
I
the
think
boss fight.
oh, I love the boss fight. I would say it has one of my most infuriating boss fights, and that is the Boost Ball Guardian. Um, I
Yes.
I forever would be so mad because it would just sit in liquid form, and I would just watch my health drain, and I was like, "Okay, well, fuck you too." But it was once you got it, I was like, "Yeah, no, no, I'm never doing this
Yeah.
again. Never again."
It's like doing the water temple the first time.
Yes, yeah, and what's funny? Later on, I learned to love the water temple.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. But yeah, the very first time you're like, "Fuck, I don't know what I'm doing." Like, and
What do you mean I gotta raise and lower the water levels?
then you realize it's just one simple room. If you
Mhm.
find this one room, it makes the whole thing work. You're like, "Okay, cool. I got it. Cool. The rest of it done."
That's a
It
good.
led me to Dark Link, and I was like, "Dude, coolest fight." Because God forbid Morpha wasn't. So like, you know what's the worst part though? And I tell this story and I crack. I died to Morpha.
That's okay. I did too.
I tried to like, get fancy and like jumping on the small patterns and stuff, and I fell in the water, and I was like, I was offed by like Jello. Like,
and that and that kind of brings me to the point where like the reason I was brought into QA testing is not necessarily because I was like an OP COD player. I am not good at COD. I'm not good at predicting people's movements. I'm not good. I the knowledge that I have now of like positioning and like all of that stuff I have from one QA testing and two because I have friends who are very serious into Overwatch and would play ranked and they would want me to play with them and I was not I didn't quite understand as much so they kind of trained me up so to speak
hmm. That's
um but they employed a number of people that weren't necessarily like the greatest players because you have to get a range of people. If you have highly skilled players playing your game all the time, when you release your game, you're going to release a game that's too difficult for your average Joe to play. And you want the widest audience possible. So they do employ people who are like, "Oh, have you ever tested a game before?" At the time I had not. I was fresh. I was a baby. Had no idea what I was doing and ended up being like the top bugger for a while.
mhm.
In the time that I left, I was I turned in the most bugs that were turned in by any person on the team.
Oh well.
So it's not necessarily you don't necessarily like I didn't have to I will admit I've watched some of your interviews leading up to us talking and I saw a gentleman who mentioned that um brain please
Is it
remember
Doc Holidays?
it might have been
He was another QA tester as well.
yeah and it was just you want ideally for your player for like to have the widest range of QA testers to have the widest range of players. I got picked up uh because they wanted somebody who was not as experienced to be like, "Hey, I can't play this."
I'm so glad that you took this in like a positive light. I would have taken him like, wow, they're like, hey, you're trash.
Oh, I was the first person to admit it. I will say the piece of trash talk that stuck with me because like, you're on a game team, you're full it's all dudes mostly with the exception of like one or two girls who are the ladies who were in the room with me because we're how do I put this? There was a handful of women on the team, but like two or three were in one room, two or three were in another, two or three another. So the ladies that I was with were also seasoned players. So they were much better than I was. There was this one girl that I was like, I can't even compete I can't even, not in the same realm. Um, and you know, you trash talk each other naturally. So one of the guys, we're all playing, and we're testing one of the smaller multiplayer maps. And one of the guys goes, "Oh no, Sarah's in front of me." And one of the other guys goes, "It's okay, just click back forth, and you'll be able to walk past her." I'm like, "Oh, oh, oh, my heart!" I was like, "Come on, guys, give me a break."
It's like not even an inconvenience.
It hurt so bad.
Like the equivalent of just like walking, like, oh, you see that trap right there? Yeah, just walk around it. It's fine.
All you got to do is go left, right. She won't be able to hit you. And I'm like, oh, oh, I'm trying. I
I
don't
don't
know
know
how
what's worse,
headboxes
it's
work.
like the insult or that it's true.
You know, honestly, yeah. Looking back, it was like I was hurt. But now looking back, I think it's very funny. And they were right at the time. Like you could just be like left, right, left, right, left, right, and then just like kill me and continue. Not so much now. I now have aim lab. But
You're like waiting for that moment, like, yeah, we're gonna try it again. Let's see what happens.
but I think I recall the gentleman mentioning something to the effect of like you have to know somebody to get in,
Mm,
and he's not wrong. You do kind of have to know somebody. The way I got in was because I just happened to make friends with one of our customers at GameStop, you know?
right.
Um that said, that's how random it can be,
Right. No,
right?
exactly.
Like just like within Hollywood where like Harrison Ford was discovered by the pool because he was a pool boy for somebody.
Really.
Yeah, he was legitimately he was just a random dude. He was not an actor, he was not on the actor grind. He was a pool guy.
That's wild.
And somebody saw him and they were like, You need to be in my movie." And that's how he became who he was. It's very similar with like the gaming industry, I would say. It's very like it can be who you know, but it also can be as random as I work at GameStop and it just so happens that uh huh. I'm trying to make sure I'm not doxing anybody. 1 second.
No, it makes sense. Like so and so person does.
Well, no, it's publicly listed information if I think about it. I work at GameStop that happened to be near Infinity Ward,
Mm,
like where the headquarters is.
right.
So that was the luck. So it's like one part luck, one part knowing people, and it's also like one part skill. Some people got on the team because they were just that skilled at the game,
Right.
and some people are on the team because they had no skills in the game, and like that was you need that balance.
That makes sense. So I have a question then.
Hmm.
So I have a question. So I asked Doc Holliday this in my previous interview with him. So I'm
Hmm.
gonna ask you the same thing. So
Sure.
like doing like bug testing and all that. When you go to play a game now and you
Mhm.
start seeing like you start seeing like do you see it in a different light? I should say that's how I should say it. Like do you see it
Yes.
in a different light?
Yeah. 1,000%. So much so that I have submitted bug reports to games that I'm not employed with.
Oh my gosh.
I've submitted bug reports to Bungie, because of stuff that I've found in Destiny, and like and genuinely a replicatable bug, and I did it in the best way that I knew how. So like I would attach a video. I'd be like, "Hey, this is what I saw." I'd put like this is the bug that was located, which by the way, FY for the rest of gaming world, no QA tester calls it a glitch.
Really?
No, we don't use the term glitch.
Fair.
We use the term bug because a glitch implies that uh that there's something faulty and cannot be fixed.
Mm.
Whereas a bug is something that can be fixed.
Okay. Yeah, that makes
You
sense.
know, you can't replicate a glitch. You can replicate a bug.
That's fair. That's fair.
So, um, brain, please. This is the brain damage kicking in. Apologies.
No, you're all good.
um, Remind me of the question again. I'm so sorry.
Like since so being like being a QA tester for so long, like when you play a video game
Oh,
now.
yes, yeah. When I played the sledding game, actually, I submitted bug reports to the sledding game of like things that I found. Like I had a player. There's different kinds of bugs in the bugging world, right? So like I found a lod pop in the game, which is like easy.
That's what my parents.
Oh no! Oh my god. It's okay, glitches unite.
Making a new company called Glitches Unite.
It'll be a bugging company. That would be the funniest part.
Like everyone, you're not a glitch.
But
Bugging company underneath it.
I did send because they asked for it. They have a section of their Discord that is specifically for bugging, and you can submit that. Oh, and actually, I am gonna mention something else from another interview that I saw. Someone asked a question of something to the effect of, do the game devs really, do they only care about what big streamers say, or do they only care about like the general audience?
Like the Nitsus. Yeah.
Yes. So I want to say, and I can speak positively to this. The IW team, the Activision team, Sledgehammer, all of them, they all watch the COD forums. All of them. We look for anytime anything came up, especially after launch, they were listening to everybody. It wasn't just big streamers. It wasn't just because we did have people come in and play the game. One of the things I mentioned to you when we first spoke was that I played with Post Malone.
Right.
Because Post Malone came to Infinity Ward as kind of like part of a like, hey, let's promote the game. And played Modern Warfare before it came out. It was
Did you say it was trash?
super cool. Did I say it was trash? No, I said it was fine.
You said it wasn't that good. I think you mentioned he wasn't that good.
I said he was fun because I don't think I would directly trash Post Malone because like genuinely he held his own in the game.
That's fair.
Especially like, against the players that he was up against, because fun fact, and I can talk about this. There's a gentleman by the name of Rui Pena. He's on the gun team at Infinity Ward, so there is a team completely dedicated to modeling all of your weapons, including all of the little cosmetics and things like that. And they spend a lot of time researching that information. They do.
Oh, I can imagine.
That's why you have the best gun feedback in COD games, because the weapons team, bar none, is some of the best people I've ever seen. And there's this guy on that team. His name is Rui. Rui is amazing. Rui is a legend. Rui is the guy who will shoot you from across the map with a pistol and kill you.
Damn.
He is insane.
So cool.
So you have when it comes to like feedback and stuff like that, they listen. You know, if you say like a cosmetic doesn't look good, they will listen to you. They will hear you out. Like, but I can't say that that is true of all development teams. I can say that that is true of the COD development teams. They are very in tune with their community. They play with their community and they deeply care about their community. So just know for sure they listen to the little guys as much as they listen to the big guys. Like before the controversy all happened, we had a couple of major streamers come in and give their feedback, and like it went extremely well, and everything was like super dope. I said before the controversy and I didn't follow it up with because it was one of them was Dr. Disrespect, but this was at the time this is the time that they were associated with Dr. Disrespect. So like before the controversy, like we had somebody like Dr. Disrespect come in. We had somebody like not PrazZD. Oh God, what was the name of that streamer? Please don't be mad at me, other streamer person. I didn't know you before and I didn't know you after. I'm sorry. But we did have a couple of like big streamers come in and like give feedback, but equally the team also like was checking Reddit. They were checking like any of the major like forums. We also knew about like all of the leaks and stuff that like that would happen. Um,
So like
that
even if they
were
weren't true kind of thing, you're just like, oh, okay.
whenever anything leaked, like that was always a topic of discussions. Like, okay, if this leak was actually a leak, like where did it come from? That kind of
Right.
thing. It was never like a witch hunt or anything like that. It was never like super stressful or anything like that. But like, you never want details of your game to be leaked beforehand.
No. No.
Um, but those things are also looked at because you want to make sure, like, hey, we don't want our game to get spoiled.
Right. And I you know and I leaks are seems to be something that's kind of occurring more and more. I mean, we obviously I think the biggest one was the Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
In which personally I think they aren't still making it. They're still working on this stuff. Um I mean, they have Insomniac. I know I love Insomniac
Hmm.
overall. Because the Ratchet and Clank series is my favorite. That's my favorite series of all time. They made, in my opinion, one of the most fun, underrated games that people don't talk about, which is Sunset Overdrive.
Oh my God,
Um,
Sunset Overdrive was so good.
it's so much
No one
fun.
talks about
I
it.
believe it's the only Insomniac game that's actually on Xbox. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
any other ones are. And so it's just,
Is
um,
that's probably because PlayStation acquired them, right? Because they have
yeah,
like
I believe.
PlayStation has like pet devs, so to speak.
um, and I think the only one I can think of off the top of my head is, yeah, it's Sunset Overdrive. But I'll take a look at that later. But it's
Yeah, Sony acquired them in 2019.
oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And so what's so weird because they've been working with them for so long too.
Mhm.
And they're making the Wolverine one. They had Insomniac Spider-Man one, Miles Morales, which was great, Spider-Man 2, which was good. So like I like Spider-Man 2 overall. Just I feel like it's one of those games, and I'll say this always about Spider-Man 2. As much as I do
Mhm.
enjoy it, I feel like this is one of those games where it feels like there's a lot of stuff missing that would make the story even better.
That's possible.
Um
It might
so
also be stuff that they're saving for DLC, maybe. Well, I
yeah,
mean,
it
at this
could be.
point, it's been out for a while, so
Yeah, it's been out for what, 2 years? So
yeah.
2 years now. So like, if they were gonna, I feel like if they were gonna make something, they would have done it.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for like a side story, like Miles and Miles Morales, another side story with him.
Mhm.
Give him his own villain, please. So
Personally, he should have his own game, in my opinion. But
the
kind of.
Miles Morales one was good, but like
Yeah.
he does need a second one now that they
Mhm.
brought in Cindy Moon.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's Silk. So I'm like,
Mhm.
please, please, let's give us some. But I think when it comes to in like Insomniac, and I've always been such a fan of theirs, and I always wonder like, are they, I'm always wondering like how devs are from the inside. I guess I'm always, QA testers, devs, everyone, because I feel like it's so interesting like talking to you about like your experience with it. You said with Infinity War, and then
Mhm.
talking with like whether if it was Black Zenitsu or talking with
Mhm.
someone like Doc Holliday. It's always interesting to see so many different variants of like what people are getting from these companies.
Mhm.
And I mean, it seems like you said your time was pretty much mostly positive, if I'm correct.
How do I put this? Because I don't want to give like the I can be sued answer.
Right, right,
I
right, right. It
There
was
were a
just
lot of positive takeaways from my experience, but like I'm not gonna lie and say that it was the best working experience ever, right? It was hard work. I know a lot of people talk a lot of like, oh, all you do is sit and game and stuff like that, but it genuinely it's genuinely hard work. You're straining your mind, you are also straining your body because we're not meant to be sitting like this all the time. There
right.
was a lot of encouragement to get up and walk around. There was a lot of encouragement to like take your eyes off screens for a little while. Um, they were like there was a fully stocked kitchen with every snack you could think of, every drink you could think of, which like meant people gained a lot of weight. I gained like 60 pounds working there. I've lost it now, blessedly, and I'm still losing, but like there is for all of that good, there is also like we did have crunch, you know.
Right.
Um,
Lunch is a
we
thing.
crunch is a thing, and like at one point in crunch, I had a 24-hour shift. I was compensated extraordinarily well, and they gave me free breakfast. Do not get me wrong. I was paid very well for my time. I do not regret having done that shift, but that's still hard work, you know. There was also a time where like we had a day shift and a night shift, so there would be people bugging during the day and people bugging during the night. Um, Sometimes, not always, but sometimes the building people would forget that there was a night shift and turn off the AC. And when you're in a room of like 60 computers that are idling,
Oh my
it's real hot
god.
in there.
Oh no.
But like that was a problem that was like very quickly fixed. It only happened like once or twice, wasn't really that big of a deal, you know. So like there's it was tough, but ultimately I found it to be rewarding. I don't know if I can say that for all of my colleagues. Some people like did not, they were like, I'm not doing that. And fair to them. They do not have to.
Right.
You know, I'm a big, like I said, I'm a big proponent of self-care and taking care of yourself. And one of the hardest things to do while developing a game is taking care of yourself,
Right.
because you want to like have it come out and be good. You want for the game to be playable. You want for people to enjoy playing the game. You want like your work to mean something. So it can be, it can be kind of like a razor's edge, so to speak, because you don't want you I don't want to speak poorly of Infinity Ward. I enjoyed my time there, right? But like I can also see equally why someone else who is on the same team as me might not have had the same experience and might not have enjoyed it. They might have felt a great deal of pressure. They might have felt a great deal of stress. They might have felt like trapped even by like their circumstances. And that's a completely different experience from mine.
Well, it's like in a way, I guess it'd be kind of like getting. I mean, there's a lot of jobs that are like that. I mean, I know, like myself,
Mhm,
I work in healthcare. Like I work in
mhm,
healthcare, so I do know that feeling of like feeling like shit. There's nothing around. That you're kind of stuck at your job.
yep.
Um, and so that leads to I guess, to another question that I
Mhm,
have, and I think I gave this one before. I did this to the Blacks and Netsu, I believe. What is something from from your time there, obviously being a QA tester and all that,
mhm.
what is something that you wished that the consumers knew about your jobs?
That's an interesting question. Um, I don't think that this is a consumer wide thing. I do think it is an industry wide thing. I think QA testers are not given like, I don't want to say like the respect,
Hmm.
right? But it feels like it's kind of like a not even an afterthought. For some games it can be considered an afterthought, right? Like if you've ever like Skyrim would be a great example of a game where you would think QA testing was an afterthought, right?
Right.
But I guarantee you, every AAA game that you've worked on had a bug team. And that bug team probably worked their asses off. And I think consumers, when they get a game that has a lot of bugs in it, they presume that the QA team didn't do their jobs. And that might not necessarily be true. There are a lot of constraints within the development process that could cause a bug to remain. Like I don't have an example from Infinity Ward per se, but I'll give like a generic example. In Skyrim, there's a chest that you can access from the surface and get like it's a chest for a merchant.
Hmm.
It's the Khajiit's chest. So you can go in, rob the Khajiit, sell their own stuff back to them, and then do it again. And then you can keep doing that. It's called it's a money glitch. The person who popularized it was Spiffing Brit, who is a phenomenal exploiter YouTuber, by the way. And if a QA tester had pointed out that chest to somebody, which likely, I would say likely they did, removing that chest might cause the Khajiit to not function properly. So it has to stay the distance where it's at, you know? So bugs
Okay.
don't always remain there because QA didn't do their jobs. Bugs might remain there because removing the bug might break the game.
So, okay, so that's interesting because I'm actually going to stick with Skyrim in this one.
Okay.
So, the Iron Dagger, the Iron
Okay.
Dagger glitch, would that be the kind of the sound of the same thing? So that was like basically the whole I guess it would be a bug, I guess, but it'd be the whole bug of it would be that you would go and just keep making iron daggers over and over because
Mhm.
the value of them when it came to your XP was
Mhm.
the same as it was for like higher tier weapons. Um,
Right.
so what? And I do believe they did fix it so that there was like less value later on because
Yeah.
you could just level up. I did it myself. I'm not gonna lie, but like,
Look,
it was
if you
so
find an
quick.
exploit in a game, do it.
Right. Yeah. It was great. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't do
Yeah.
it no more. That's what I got mods for. But like why do that when I can have an RPG in the game? Like,
Mm,
but
exactly.
but yeah, it was a really interesting one because it just you would level up super quickly, and if you wanted to get your
Mhm.
smithing up, I would get dragon bone weapon by the time I was like level like 40. And
Yep.
I never left. Like I just go tink tink and then come back and just make more stuff.
I mean, that also speaks to how difficult a game like Skyrim can be to balance,
Mm,
right? Because at that point, like, I God, I can't imagine. I don't know how they had their, like, devs all split up. I don't know, like, what teams worked on what or how they had their teams, like, all separated. But I imagine it's it's kind of like the line of thinking of, "Oh, this doesn't seem too broken, it should be fine." And then when you get it to a larger player base, you don't realize how broken the mechanic actually is until a larger player base gets their hands on it.
that's
And
fair.
then afterwards, the devs have a choice. They can leave the exploit in and let players just kind of have their way with it, or they can patch it out. Both of those options have players kind of being mad at you, right? You have players being mad at you because there's other players taking advantage of the exploit and leveling their characters super fast, right? And then you have those same players that level their characters really fast. If you patch it out, they're like, "God damn it, I love that so much. Why'd they patch it out?" And then
Right.
thus you have the catch 22 that is.
That's fair.
There's many reasons why bugs might stay in. It could be that removing the bug breaks the game. It could be that the bug is so insignificant to the player overall that there's no point in removing it. Like for example, a LOD pop it's a level of detail pop. That's what it stands for. It's basically like when you're walking along in a game and part of the background just kind of pops into existence.
Mm-hmm.
An example is Destiny. If you scooter through the moon fast enough, the moon will not load in fast enough, and you'll just see like mountains popping near you.
Okay.
They've actually like patched that out recently. I think I've been off Destiny for a little while, so
Yeah, I barely. I was in Destiny. I'll play Destiny for like I swear like a week, and I'm like, oh, this is fun, and then I just stop.
yeah, I'm in that same boat. But a LOD pop will break player immersion, yes, momentarily, but it doesn't stop you from playing the game. It doesn't stop you from doing the main story. It doesn't. It just it's kind of annoyingly there, right?
Right.
Um, Whereas opposed to, let's say you load in on your speeder, and because you did it in this particular area, you load in under the map, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is a much more prescient bug. That is a much more important bug to deal with than the LOD pop.
That's
And
fair.
another big factor in this is time. You only have a certain amount of time before you've got to release the game. And once you have a release date out, you have to have the game out on that date. So even if you're finding bugs until the last minute, and even after the game comes out, which you will, it's natural, right?
Right.
Um, you, uh, how do I put this? As long as the player can still enjoy the game, as long as the player can still appreciate the game for what it is, sometimes leaving a bug in is what happens.
That's fair.
And that's a decision that's usually made by like the devs, right? They will be like, "Hey," and sometimes you'll learn that decision as you're bugging, like, right? Like my sneaky little bug about you can't explode a gas can,
Yeah, that,
right?
I love that
They
stuff.
they can say no to that. They can say, "Hey, we that's not something that we can fix. That's not a fixable thing," right?
Mhm.
very similarly with other bugs. There are some things that are just going to stay because it's not fixable within the time period that you need in order for the game to release. And then after the game release, you're also dealing with the swarm of user issues that come in as well. So it double times harder once the game is out.
Right.
So like the first 2 weeks after a game releases, the QA team is working their butts off trying to like reproduce bugs that have been created by users.
And I can only imagine in like open world games, it has to just be horrendous. I mean, trying to find
Yeah.
some of these, like, I mean, we obviously use Skyrim, huge ones like, you know, Far Cry, Elden Ring, like, it comes to a point where you're just like, you gotta be at the point where you're just like, kind of like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah. And that's why QA teams tend to be huge. That's why it's like 100 people, 1,000 people, like 2,000 people, like kind of rolling, because the more people, the more eyes you have in on it, the more chances you have are to spot like the more important bugs, the fatal bugs, right?
yeah, and there's the bugs that just won't be found
Yep.
until they come out later on.
Absolutely. We had so we would play test. There was something called, it was called like the bullpit or something like that, or the bullpen.
Okay.
The bullpen. And the bullpen was an area of like 100 or so computers that we would all play together on. And it was to test larger player base how this would work, right?
Okay.
But and I think this is something I mentioned to you off camera, but I can say it here. There's because there's different types of bugs and there's different levels of bugs. You have you also have weird bugs. People people do weird things in games purposefully. I know, I have friends who do them, right?
Just to see
I
if you can.
One of my most infuriating personal game experiences was I was showing a friend of mine BioShock 1,
Mhm.
and they were going to like the toilet stalls in the beginning where you have to like go, you veer off into like an area from the toilet, but like that's like your pass through area,
Mhm.
and they were jumping on top of the toilet stalls and like crouching and walking along the toilet stalls. I'm like, why are you doing that? They're like, because I want to see if I can. Right?
It sounds, I mean, it could sound me, but it does seem like gamers are kind of like toddlers in a way. If you got it, like, I feel
You
like when it comes
cannot
to devs.
you cannot gamer proof a game. You cannot gamer proof a game, right? And so like for example, like a weird bug, right? Is like we had somebody who would like throw grenades at a wall to see if one of them gets through, right? We would have we would have somebody who would spin around 6 times, throw 3 grenades, and shoot their rifle once, and then all of a sudden they're underneath the map, right? And it's a recreatable bug. You could do it in the same spot over and over and over again, right? And that bug has to be fixed. You have to figure out where in the code is that broken so you can fix that so that that doesn't happen, because there
That's fair.
will be inevitably some person who stands on that spot in the map, does that exact same thing, and ends up under the map.
You know, and that reminds me of, I was actually just watching like the Ocarina of Time, right?
Mm.
And someone was like, "Oh yeah, you don't need blue fire to thaw out the King of the Zoras."
Hmm.
Because if you go and you do this double backflip and you go down the stairs and you do these like hops and stuff and you go back up the stairs, do another backflip thing, hit the wall, and he went back and it was fine. And I was like, I don't what?
How did you know how to do that?
I don't know. Like, I don't know how to even get to this point. Like,
Yep.
and I think that's, I brought this up before too, before we started, and that's why I feel like speedrunners are the best at this.
Yeah. Speedrunners are definitely, like, it's interesting because over time, the more you play test a game, the more you become able to speedrun it.
Mm.
Because you start to know where all of the shortcuts are. I mentioned earlier, like you could in the mission where you're in London in Modern Warfare, you don't have to do anything. All of your side quests are optional. All of the shooting is optional. You can just run through the level from point A to point B and finish the level. Like and trigger the cutscene that happens at the end of the level. Or excuse me, mission. We had to call levels missions.
That's Yeah, I can see that. And I know
That's the professional term in just for this is also this specifically an Infinity Ward thing.
oh, that's fair. And then
Yeah.
I mentioned before, I was watching the Doom Eternal one, and like the guy was what I like too is also the guy showed exactly what he was doing on his keyboard. I love when I get to see.
Yeah.
I love anytime speedrunners, please, if you speedrunners, show what you are doing on your controller or your keyboard so that people can see because it is like it's not nearly as easy as it looks. One of the
Also being
most
able
I
to
was
frame
watching.
perfect the key types.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the guy had this where he would like almost like like the Doom guy would sink into the ground for a second, and then he would launch himself right out, and then by constantly swapping weapons, firing and swapping weapons, he could just keep the momentum going.
Mhm.
I've seen this a lot with Sonic
Yeah.
especially.
Yeah.
Sonic is broken. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try, beating the score. I want to put myself into like the top 1,000 of Sonic runs, and I was playing Sonic Generations, and I watched the guy do the world record, and I was like, well, fuck, I'm not doing that. Like,
You know what a friend of mine does, and it's so funny. He becomes the speedrunner record holder for games that are really small that nobody's speedrunning.
that
You pick a really obscure game, like a really really obscure game, and you speedrun it and you submit it, and yeah.
yeah, technically, like I'm the
I
world record.
mean, they're not wrong.
No, and I mean, and that's fair.
And
But like,
if you're sitting there speedrunning that game, you genuinely are specialized in that game because you've run that game probably 7 billion times.
oh yeah, like I was
Yeah.
watching like Super Mario 64 is one of my favorite speedruns to watch. One of a fantastic game. I mean, like who doesn't love Super Mario 64? But like, watching and it was Suigi who was I believe it's Suigi who's doing it. And he's the world record holder, I think, for 0 star, 1 star, 16 star, 70 star, and 120 star. Which that's all he does.
I mean, if that is your, I am not gonna yuck someone's yum,
I
right?
don't think I think like internally at that point, all I would hear the levels in my head when I sleep. you
My
know?
my fiance just finished her personal speed run of Stardew Valley.
Mhm.
And I to say that I lost my fiance for like 3 weeks is not an exaggeration. She would get home from work. I'd be like, "Hi, honey," give her a kiss, and then she'd straight to the computer, sit down, Stardew Valley. Must, must, must get perfection in Stardew Valley. Must do it within like she was watching other speedrunners so that she could, you know,
Mhm.
economize her game as much as possible.
Well, like
And
speed runs and challenge runs. People who do the challenge runs, like
oh my
Elden Ring right
god.
now is a big one. Where like I see
Mhm.
like only green weapons, only torches, only hand-to-hand fights, only whatever. I was watching one, and it was back to a Super Mario 64 one, where the guy called I forgot what it called, but basically you're being constantly followed by a poison mushroom. And it is the most like I will send you a link to one of them. It is the most anxiety inducing
That's
things.
like people who play Peak with chase mode on.
I'm not doing that. Like I'm not doing that. I don't care. Like
It's so stressful.
you can't pay me enough to do that. Like like
Too
my heart
much.
will explode. And this guy was going for I don't know if he was going for 120 stars or what, but like he was on the final Bowser in the sky
Mhm.
and he had to get the red coins. And so he'd get to the point where the red coin and he had to jump all the way off just to get enough space away from the mushroom. So the mushroom would come back around and then he'd have to go do it again. And I'm just like I'm
How?
yeah,
How?
I need an adult. I need someone to turn this off because I cannot do it myself at this point.
Bless bless everybody who does summer games done quick or games done quick.
Oh,
The pressure that you must be under to do the speed run live in front of hundreds of thousands of people online and the people who are in the center. Like,
mhm.
bless your souls. I'm old, right? I can't my heart can't take that. My heart cannot take that. I cannot do it. That's too much pressure. But speedrunners, I think, are the people who will break your game the most, and that will be the person that you're looking at maybe to patch anything that you think is like truly bad. But like the bugs that you really want to get, the bugs that we definitely don't want players to end up with, are the ones that, like, there are bugs that can brick your system. They do exist. And they get caught before release, almost always. Very rarely does it happen after release, and even then, like, the first thing that they're up to is like, we want to make sure that you're okay, we're going to try and like take care of like your system, whatever it is that we can do to help you, right? But like, those are the bugs that you want to find. Those are the bugs, like if you spin around 3 times and throw grenades and your system bricks, that needs to be, that bar
Yeah.
none takes precedence over everything else, right? So smaller bugs like lod pops, smaller bugs like, for example, we spoke about before, we spoke very briefly before starting. We talked about Pokemon and how
Mhm.
everyone was freaking out about how like you could see the shadows kind of like stream along on the side. Pokemon would kind of pop into existence sometimes, and a lot of people like were really angry with the graphical errors within Pokemon. I get it, right? It is the Switch. You are dealing with a more advanced system that should be able to handle that kind of graphical load. But the first Switch, not Switch 2, Switch 1 was essentially hardware-wise a GameCube, right? So it could do GameCube graphics,
Yeah.
which aren't bad by any means,
No.
but they're not going to be you're not going to have like perfect streaming of shadows on your game. It's
I'm
just
not
not
gonna. I can't look at
the
my Switch.
hardware. The hardware is just not capable of doing that. And I think people need to be a little bit more forgiving on that front, right? Like, look at the hardware that you're dealing with. You're brand new. It's like, I can speak of it on personal. It's like trying to play Borderlands 4 with a 1660. And I know this because that's what I have. And I have tried to play Borderlands 4, and I can load the game now, but I can tell you for the first 2 weeks, I couldn't load the game at all. I would get in, it would load shaders. I would
Oh wow.
I would select from the menu the character I wanted to play to load in, it would load shaders. Then it would restart loading shaders, and then it would crash.
Oh my
It's been
goodness.
There have been 2 updates since then. The first update made it worse. The second update, the second update, I'm able to run the game now.
Oh, good, because that game is
Right?
fun.
It's I'm so excited. I can't wait to
Yeah,
start. I can't wait to start playing again.
I've beat it once, and I'm gonna be trying to finish up until I can go through and play it with different characters. But
Yeah,
it's good.
it's
It
I was so stoked. My fiance got it for me as a birthday gift. I was so excited. We were going to play it together, and then it stopped loading.
it's uploading.
And I will say I do take issue with the CEO being like, if you have a older rig, get get good scrub, was kind of his statement on it. Not
Yeah.
okay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
When we
No, no.
we tested on all gamuts. We tested on all ranges: PlayStation, Xbox, PC. Um, PCs with super good graphics cards and ray tracing, PCs with not super good graphics cards and no ray tracing, right? All of that got bugged. All of that was looked over. A lot of people will say, "Oh, the PC version was not given as much love as the console version because PCs are not as prevalent within this game," right? No, everything goes through the ringer. If stuff slips through, it's because genuinely either it happened because of the large amount of player base that's occurring. As
Mhm.
Jack mentioned, when you have a huge player base come in, you're not dealing with just 1,000 people playing your game. You're dealing with millions at that point.
Right.
Things are gonna break. Things are gonna break. Servers are gonna go. Like, it is the nature of, like, that's only so much the hardware can do.
Right. And I believe you're absolutely correct on saying that like games like especially like, first off Randy Pitchford, the stuff that he said, like there's some things that I I can be like, yes, I see why you say it, but there's also at the same time, I mean, you basically just called a bunch of gamers broke because they couldn't go and afford your game rather than just trying to make it more accessible for everybody else. And yeah, so when the backlash came in, I think I mean this. It's not like I
I think it
shouldn't be
was fair.
surprised, huh?
I think it was fair.
Oh, I think it was. I think absolutely. I mean, to be fair as well, Randy Pitchford also is known for this. So like, it just kind of
Yeah.
he's a. I typically sometimes I do like I do my I don't mind outspoken people,
Mm.
but there's times where it's like, yo, your boomer is showing. Like,
Oh, 1,000%. And it's a shame because it's like you're disregarding the people who are basically keeping your studio running. And that's not uh hyperbole. That's not me being like, no, if you lose your player base, that's it. Your game studio is done so's. You have to make sure that like you treat your players with respect. But equally, I will say players need to treat devs with more respect and QA testers with more respect and like people who work in it. The gaming industry, you talk like people talk about Hollywood and like how corrupt Hollywood can be and how hard it is to work on a Hollywood film set, right? People talk about call times at like 3 a.m. People talk about like having to shoot uh on a 24-hour schedule. It happens, right? Like
Mhm,
overtime on sets
mhm.
happen all the time as well. The amount of work that went into it is tremendous. And I think when a game comes out and people are immediately like, "Oh, fuck the devs." No, man. Sometimes they worked really hard. They worked really hard and like probably put their heart and soul into it. And then when everybody probably shit on their game, it probably made them feel real bad, you know? And
Mhm.
sometimes some of the things that happen are not under like the devs' control because game publishers have, like, in my opinion, game publishers have way too much of their fingers within gaming development.
So like okay, so like main publishers like Activision, Take
Yeah,
Two,
yeah,
okay, like EA, all them.
yeah. Because the purpose of those, this is my opinion. The purpose of those companies is so that your game ends up on platforms.
Hmm.
So your game can be distributed. So there is money before the digital era. It was so that there was money to put things onto discs, put things onto like to be able to distribute the game outwardly, right?
Right.
That's what a publisher is for. They're to push the game out to the masses. That's their job.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right for publishers to be telling game developers how their game should be made.
Yeah.
That's like movie theaters telling, not even movie theaters. Oh yeah, actually no. That's like movie chains telling production, "Hey, these are the movies that you should make."
Right.
It's not. I think that there should be more of a clear delineation for publishers and developers, because I think publishers use their power over how they can push your game out or they can kibosh it,
Mhm.
um, to have control, like creative and or any kind of control over games. And I think, and this is, I'm not saying this based on my experience. I'm saying this based on my experience as a gamer, not on my experience in Infinity Ward.
That's fair.
Um, I do think that publishers are genuinely pushing like a little bit too hard into the development space. I think they should just let their developers develop. Give
Right.
them room to breathe. Kind of like in film, we have people who are like movies that are being directed by committee, right? It's not just one director who has control over everything. It's the director and then like 9 other studio heads that are behind him.
Yeah. Telling
That,
them exactly what to direct, what to put in, what to not.
yeah, I've heard stories of studio heads being on set and calling cut, and that's not their job.
No,
Like,
that's not.
not that's the only person, there's 2 people on a set who can call cut, or 3, I guess, 3 people. The unit production manager can call cut if there's an emergency. The script supervisor can call cut if there's a script discrepancy, which does happen, but very rarely. And the director. Those are the people who can call cut.
Right.
That's it.
Well, yeah, no, that makes sense because, like, I mean, honestly, why pay for having a director if you're not going to let him do his job?
Ah, there's an answer to that. If the movie flops, the blame goes on the director, not the studio.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean, and that's I do. I will say that's what I kind of felt for when it came to like some of like BioWare, for example,
Yeah.
because BioWare gets hit saying they're garbage, blah blah blah, but then EA can kind of skirt that blame on them and kind of just let and they're just kind of taking the hit from it, which is totally it's bullshit to me.
Right. But they're the ones who, unfortunately, I believe they're the ones who own the servers. That's part of the publishing process, right? Like, in order for your game to play, it needs to be hosted, especially if it's an online multiplayer game, which are the most common. It needs to
Yep.
be hosted on a server. Those servers cannot be like some game companies own their own servers. Some of them use publishing companies in order to have servers that they can put their games onto, right? And it's just like yeah, too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's how we end up with what's a big famous like game that flopped recently?
Anthem,
Anthem is a good example.
Cyberpunk. Well, Cyberpunk's revived.
Cyberpunk also like revised themselves though, but so did oh god, what's the other one? That it was supposed to be like Destiny, but brain, please.
It's not
It's the one that's about exploring the stars and then like they
Starfield.
kept doing
Starfield
No.
or No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
No Man's
No
Sky.
Man's Sky is the one I was thinking of. But the way they made up for their not being good when the game released was every update they did since was free.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that they did was
Yeah,
free.
it's really fun now. I've heard people really enjoy it now.
And now it's excellent, you know. Um Sometimes that's the studio, sometimes that's the publisher, and it's kind of hard to tell the difference. So before you start being like, this game is terrible and look at all these bugs and stuff, take a second, take a moment to just kind of and really
Mhm.
look to see who might be truly responsible for it and hold them
Right.
responsible. I think a lot of times like issues with a game will arise and people will be so angry at the developers and the developers would have like nothing to do with it.
Right.
And then that developer's reputation is permanently stained as a result. And then when they release something else in the future that might not have anything to do with whatever situation happened, that game's not going to be given the fair shot that it deserves.
No, that's fair.
And that's just like I would much rather not. But yeah, the takeaway from that question is be nicer to your dev teams. Be nicer to your QA testers. They are working hard. Um, and especially if you see, for example, a game that has like 5 QA testers, those people were overworked.
I
Right?
can only imagine.
Right? That's insane to me. If you see a small QA team, give them some love. They've worked their asses off. They've probably been up at night. They've probably been drinking as much coffee as blood exists in their body.
Yeah, and that, and to kind of go along with that too, I feel like not only give the all of them more credit down the line, but because I think there were a lot of fans when they see like a game succeed, they're like, oh yeah, it's just it's CD Project Red, right? But that doesn't also take into effect the people who are not on those credit lists, and that was the one thing I talked about with Black Zenitsu. So he said his goal was to make it on that credit list so my name can actually be on there, and not just team, and it makes sense. Like I think it's highly important for the amount of for the credit that gets done for everyone, because I think it's at the end of the day, it's a team effort, and y'all work so fucking hard to make the
It's
games
crazy.
that people are going to love for decades sometimes, and it'll always To a lot of gamers, it'll never be enough.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess we can like I think that this would provide us a fine segue, I think, into talking about some of the you know greater the better examples, the greater examples, because the video game awards the nominees just got
They
announced,
did. They
you
did. They
know?
did. They
And
did.
there's a lot of like phenomenal I'll be honest. I saw the nominee list shortly. There are so many really good games. I think I'm gonna be kind of sad if any one of them wins, if that makes sense, because I feel like everybody did such like there was so many phenomenal games this year.
Yes, I agree. And I'm gonna pull it up. So
Hmm.
I have. Let's see.
I've got it up on from Kotaku has the full list.
I got it up from Screen Rant, which is funny because I'm usually very like I'm not the biggest fan of Screen Rant, but they put stuff up that I like. So yeah. So I mean, Game of the Year already got theirs, which was Claire Obscure, Death
Which makes
Stranding.
sense.
Yep. Oh yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hades 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, and Kingdom Come Deliverance. Uh, funny enough, I put Dispatch up there because that was my personal favorite game of the year this year. It
Yeah.
was, it was everything that I wanted, and when I look at this right now, I said before it's going to be Claire Obscure.
It honestly, yes. For game of the year, probably. I don't know. Silk Song might give them a run for their money
I think
because of how
I
loved it
think
was.
Death Stranding 2 might as well. It's just one of those where I think that Claire Obscure hit so hard, and not just the music because the music is just
The
bangers.
music's insane.
Oh my
I
god, I got
as I mentioned
chills during it.
real quick, as I mentioned, chat, just so you all know, I have not played through Clair Obscur yet. I'm still in the very beginning area. Like, do not tell me anything. Don't spoil it for me, please.
No
I beg you.
spoilers, no spoiler. Where's the weed selling game?
You know what? Oh god, what was it called? What was it called? I really wanted to play it too. Um the I will say the music in the weed selling game is amazing.
the game is
The
the
music
music.
in the weed selling game is incredible. It's so good. It
Yep.
has no right to be to the bangers on there, no right.
You know what's crazy is when I look at this, and this is gonna sound really mean, but sometimes I feel like when it comes to Nintendo, they put Nintendo games up here knowing that they're not going to win. Like,
Oh,
and like
Donkey Kong Bonanza.
I think Donkey Kong Bonanza. I haven't played it yet. It looks like a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking away from it at all.
I've heard wonderful
Um,
things about it.
yeah, I've heard good things, but it always feels like it's always like there's like one Nintendo game that there's just like, all right, fine, we'll put Nintendo. I don't think Nintendo gives a fuck. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think they care if like because I know when I was talking with Black Zenitsu, he mentioned like these kind of awards don't this kind of award is not as big to him as like as devs for devs as
Right.
much as like Dice is. I think he mentioned.
The Dice Awards.
Um,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and and so this is more for for the fans and stuff like that.
It's
And
like the Kids Choice Awards versus like hang on, I'll be nicer. I was trying to think of like a place where you can vote.
I was like, "Whoa, damn!"
Sorry. I'm trying to it's like the MTV Movie Awards versus the Oscars, right?
Yeah,
Users have more like people have more influence on that than the Oscars, which is like everything is selected by committee within I don't know if y'all know this. The way the Oscars works is that there's a number of people that are in the academy. They get all of the screeners for the movies that are going to be put up for nomination, and then they watch them and then they vote which ones they like best.
right.
That's how it works.
And
But
I
it's
think,
like elite Hollywood people, so
yeah, well, but and
they
I
might
think when
not
it
know what they're
comes
talking
to
about.
allegedly, um, but like I think when it comes to like the game of the year, this is something that I've wanted to bring up. If your game that you personally love is not on this list, do not fret. It doesn't mean your game is bad. It doesn't mean your game is
True.
whatever. This is picked by a group of people that you probably don't know and really just do not care about. Like it is fine that, if someone says, "Oh, I want," like, I thought Dispatch would be on here because that's personally my favorite game so far this year. And you know what? It's not on. It's not on this game of the year. It's fine. It is what it is. Like, but I think last thing I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Last thing I need, and I think we all need, is another Astrobot situation from last year. And it's like,
Yeah.
yo, if Black Myth Wukong was your favorite game, that's great. If Astrobot won, that's cool too. Like,
Mhm.
it's stop.
Don't poop on people winning for their hard work.
Yeah, all these
Like
people worked hard.
they all there is no lack of, and I will say this, despite the competition outside of the game, outside of games, I do feel like developers are far more like tied together as a group. Like even
Yep.
if you have competing game companies, devs will talk to each other and they learn from each other constantly.
Oh, yeah.
So if your favorite game isn't on there, it doesn't mean that like it's not good enough. It's just like look at the category of games you're going up against, right? Like you're going to have AAA games up there, but also equally you're going to have indie games up there too. If your game is good, your game is good,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if your game is good, your
right?
game is good. I mean, Best Game Direction had some great ones too.
Isn't Hollow Knight an indie? Is an indie dev, right?
Yes,
Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight's,
Yeah,
yeah, King Cherry's an indie.
same thing with Hades too, right?
Yep, Hades is, Claire Obscure is, like,
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that Clair Obscur is not a AAA studio.
I don't know if Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is either. Warhorse?
I think Kingdom Come is a series. One sec. I can get that information.
But best game direction we had was Claire Obscure, Death Stranding, Ghost of Yote, Hades 2, and Split Fiction. Cool. Split Fiction getting nominated as well.
Warhorse.
Like,
Good.
best the one that got me was the best performance.
Warhorse Studios is not currently an indie studio because it is a branch of Plyon, which is part of the Embracer Group.
Oh, okay.
It was an indie developer when it was founded, though.
Okay, that makes sense. And then my question next is, who do you think is going to take the best performance?
Oh, Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox?
I love the story of. I'm hoping he takes it, I'll be honest, because I love the story of how he talks about when he recorded it. Because he basically was like, "Oh yeah, I knocked that shit out in an afternoon. It was fun." And that's it. And it's his performance is incredible. It doesn't I think what I appreciate about him is that he did not phone in the performance even though he considered it an afternoon gig, unlike, I don't know, Peter Dinklage who phoned in his performance as your partner in Destiny. I will never forget the line, "That wizard came from the moon."
And
And the
that's,
way he delivered it, that's why they ended up going with Nolan North after.
yeah,
Um,
I mean, if you don't want to be there, then don't be there.
but yeah, I think honestly, I hope for Erica, but I'm biased. I know Erica. So
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense. See, I think
uh
it's going to be Jennifer English. Jennifer English
that's fair.
is fantastic in her role. All of them are great. But I think she's going to take it in this one.
It,
She's just been on a generation, and she's in Tides of Annihilation as well, which
yeah.
I'm super stoked for. I believe she was Shadowheart too, wasn't she?
I think so. Hang on.
Yeah, I believe she was Shadowheart as well. Um,
Oh, come on now. Let's see. Carlotta Montelli in Wuthering Waves, Latana the Albinaric in Elden Ring, Mael in Clair Obscure. I liked Mael.
yep, Jennifer English.
Yep, there it is.
Yep. So yeah, and you know what? I think she's been on like a generational run right now. Like, it's crazy.
I mean,
So,
she's becoming as I think well known as Troy Bigger.
yep. Oh yeah,
You
she's
know?
on her way. And I think when it comes to Troy, because to me there's two voice actors, like a voice actor and a voice actress, that have always just hit, in my opinion, they've
Mhm.
always been the top spot when it comes to voice acting, especially in video games, and that's Troy Baker and Jennifer Hale. And um, I've always loved Jennifer
Yes.
Hale. Like she just whatever she does, she has the voice to play any kind of. She was playing Rivet in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which she did fantastic in. She's played more serious role, where just more like just badass character. She was in Bulletstorm, which I love Bulletstorm. I wish more people check that out.
I'm
But
looking at
like,
the different voices. If you've ever have like and this is more of a question for chat than anything, but like have y'all ever like looked at a voice actor's voice thing and gone like, "Oh god, I didn't know they were that. I didn't know they were that. Oh god, I didn't
mhm,
know they were this." And it's wild to see just how like prolific some voice actors and actually I think you're just supposed to be voice actors now. Uh you're not supposed to specify actress
oh,
anymore
I was about to.
because I think everybody is an actor, something like that to that effect.
Oh, okay.
Um, kind of like how you don't have steward and stewardess anymore.
Hmm. Okay, yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
so everyone is an actor. Um, I think you'll find like people voicing iconic characters that you didn't know that that was them.
I mean, look at one of the biggest ones. I think Tara Strong.
Right? Yeah. Oh God, she's in everything.
She's in everything. Like some of
She's in
your
everything.
favorite characters, Bubbles
Mhm.
from Powerpuff Girls, Timmy Turner, Ben 10, Raven. Like you just were on a generational run.
Yep. And
You
you're
know?
the voice. You're like the voice. Imagine being the pressure. Sorry, it just hit me. Being the voice of a generation. I also kind of want to throw Erica in there too. Look, I'm biased. I love Erica. She's phenomenal. But like she was also in Destiny. She was also in Apex. She is also in like she is also on a bit of a generational run as well. And I'll be honest, uh I feel like Erica has had a lot of I think, like, of the actors here, Erica's had, like, the hardest time with audience reception because I feel like so many, dude bros were incredibly critical of Ghost of Yotei just because there was a female lead.
Yeah, I do, because I remember in one of my comments on Instagram, someone mentioned about like her, because she was outspoken about her,
Yeah,
about who she is. And they kind of went back and forth on it, or like was not really back and forth, but it was just one of those where I was like, okay, fuck, whatever. Like I don't even get to the point where I don't even argue with dude bros anymore. Like I don't even waste my time with it. Like if that's what makes you not want to buy a game, then I really don't care. Like that's you're just kind of whatever.
I just think it's silly because, like, if it's, how do I put this? Not to bring this to a kind of sexist, gendered place, but just a little bit. If I'm going to play a game if I'm gonna play a game, I wanna see a pretty girl. I don't mind it. It's fine. If I play as a handsome man, it's also fine.
Mhm.
Like, play who you wanna play as. It's fine. But,
I
like,
don't.
to ban like, to it would be silly of me to go, "I'm not gonna play this game because the lead is a male."
Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Imagine missing out on BioShock.
Well, and like for Erica, being she's LGBT, isn't she
They,
not?
sorry, they.
They.
I'm so
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry. They.
Uh,
I always mess that up. Sorry, my bad.
oh, okay, yeah.
Erica,
I just
don't kill
noticed
me.
that they is with me.
They them. They them.
And so for Erica to be who they are, and to all these like you said before, the dude bros, it's a waste of time, and more power to Erica, because guess what,
Honestly, truly.
still getting roles, they still getting roles. Like, I
The
mean, Valkyrie from Apex, Rook in
mhm,
Dragon Age,
mhm,
Atsu from Ghost of Yotei.
mhm.
Like, I guess
And they
they
got to cosplay Atsu.
really, no,
They
that's
yeah, it
so
was a huge thing. They got to go to a I believe it's a Japanese Sony event cosplaying as Atsu. and it's a beautiful moment because it's this voice actor who played this character and then also got to embody their own character in costume, and I think that that's beautiful.
Wow. Okay, I need to interview this person.
Erica,
Yeah.
they're real busy these days. They're
Oh
real
no,
busy.
I bet they are. I bet they are.
Especially
I know it's very very slim, but it's always cool.
also
Like
outside of their voice work, they're also on Dropout. If you're familiar with Dropout TV, everyone,
Dropout sounds
you
familiar.
should get a Dropout subscription. It's fantastic. it's it's $4.99 a month, and it's comedy gold, truly.
This
Uh,
one. Wait,
Dropout is also known as college humor.
Erica was in Full House.
Probably briefly. I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
on one
surprised.
episode,
That's so funny.
1992.
They were probably a child at the time.
Yeah, child actor.
Yeah, I have
That
no doubt. I would
that's
love to hear that
wild.
story. But I
That's
adore
cool.
Erica. They're a phenomenal person, and I genuinely the fact that they were nominated, I'm sure, knowing them, that they're very honored about it. You know,
Oh, absolutely.
Erica's always been like so. If they win, honestly, good for them. Good for them. I hope they do. If not, I hope they get it on their next role. Like genuinely.
Mm-hmm.
I also think that like in this list of performances, our greatest underdog is Konatsu Kato
Oh, from Silent Hill. I have not
from
played
Silent
Silent
Hill
Hill
F.
F. I have
The
not played Silent Hill F. I'm not gonna lie. I
I'm not
tell
gonna
them
I'm
all the
not gonna
time.
spoil it. I'm not
I'm
gonna
not gonna
spoil it.
lie. I'm kind of a real bitch when it comes to horror games. Like
I'm not. I'm a
I,
horror game. I'm a horror game player at heart. Which is why which is why how did I end up on Call of Duty?
I'm like horror movies. Horror movies, fine. Horror games were like, damn, I cannot be in control. Like,
I'll be honest, when Resident Evil 7 became first person, I genuinely could not do it. I was so scared playing the demo that I was like, there's no way I can play this game by myself.
you've beaten it, right?
7?
Yeah.
I watched someone play it. I'll be
Okay.
honest. I watched Jacksepticeye because
So
or Markiplier, one of the two.
Jacksepticeye's in Dispatch as well, which I thought was
I
great.
love him so much. He's one of the
Um,
most
him
genuine
and Moist
people.
Critical, I didn't think I was going to, but I was like Moist Critical in voice acting. I'm like, but he did a really good job.
Good
But
job, bro.
it was Resident Evil 7, and as far as I've gotten, where it was like when you're dealing with the father in the beginning of the home, right?
Mhm.
And the whole time I'm like, oh god, I'm like, Daddy trying to kill me. And so like like trying to escape. I finally escape because I have no clue what I'm doing. And I get downstairs and I get to like where like I'm like, okay, I think I'm safe for a moment. And then they're like these tar monsters come out, and I was like, and I'm done. And so it just stopped. I was like, yeah, nah. I was like, Ethan, you're not saving your wife. Like
I I have such a love for Resident Evil, even through its bad times. Like I genuinely do. But like equally, I feel like Silent Hill F, because of all of it's because it's so deeply entrenched in like Japanese culture. Um and rightfully so. Uh
right.
I feel like is the same. I'd put it on par with 2, which I know is it 2 that has the that's the one that was recently released, right? With that
Yeah, Silent Hill 2. Yeah, the remake.
I always get the numbers of the Silent Hills mixed up, right?
Yeah, I believe it was
Um
Silent Hill 2 remake.
so Silent Hill 2 is considered one of the greatest storytelling games ever created, right? It is considered the game that elevated gaming from just games to art, right? Because
Yeah,
there's so much to analyze about the game. And I feel like Silent Hill F is currently being slept on. But when people start to like wake up to it, I think people are going to be like, no, this game is fire.
that'll be
And I
awesome.
think I think it will end up with the same like acclaim that 2 ended up with later in its life.
That'll be nice.
Mhm.
I agree with you. From what I've seen from it, it seems like it will be.
Would you
Um,
would you like to hear a funny insider story about
yes,
Kojima?
yes.
So a friend of mine was an employee for Sony and had to travel to Kojima's studio, and they described walking into Kojima's studio is like walking into. Did you ever watch the Resident Evil movie, the
Yeah.
first one? You know the hallway with the lasers?
Really?
Apparently the entryway into the studios is a hallway that lights as you walk through it, and it's got the same like glass walls, like glass walkway thing. And like they had to walk in, they were like, this is the scariest entryway to a building I've ever experienced.
That'd be so cool, though. Oh,
And
that'd be so cool.
I think that that's like, wow, Kojima, like, way to stick to your brand, my guy.
If you're gonna go 100%. Like, and I can't blame them for that. And when I look at some of these games, like the best ongoing games, never been big for me, but like Fortnite, you see Marvel Rivals on there, No Man's Sky. I think these are the same ones as
I
last year.
I
But
feel like No Man's Sky should. I don't know if No Man's Sky ever got the chance to like be awarded. And I think if there's any game that deserves like a bit of a redemption arc, it's that one.
I think Fortnite's gonna take it, to be
Damn,
honest.
I wish it didn't though.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna take it. Fortnite's
I'm
just one of
so
those
tired of
that,
Fortnite.
yeah, but I can't. I'm tired of their success, and
Same.
it's not because I don't want to
But
see you guys succeed. It's like you guys are they're good. They're good. They
they
know what
are.
they're doing, and like it's the same with like when I look at best
Well,
mobile ones. I was actually really Destiny Rising, and I think it's down to Destiny Rising and Persona 5.
it should be Persona 5.
The fact that you threw a
Oh, but
new Persona.
Wuthering Waves though got like some real good traction though.
Pretty Derby, I was surprised that definitely got some traction though too.
That one's so silly.
I've never seen the anime. I heard the anime is actually pretty damn good.
You know what? I would not be surprised. I will say this. I do think that it is pretty fire that Pretty Derby does have a section of the game where you can donate food to the horses.
That's awesome.
Like the actual horses. Because all of the horses featured in the game are retired.
Yes,
So they're living their lives out just generally in a stable and enjoying their last days on this
well,
planet, right?
the Pretty Derby is based off of that, isn't it? Because like I think some of the characters are based off of the horses.
Yes.
No?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're based off of these retired horses. So there is I think it's a website where you can donate, like you can spend a little bit of money and you can donate like premium hay to like the horses or like premium grasses to the horses. And people have done it so much that like the horses have enough food probably to last them the rest of their lives.
I can like imagine. That's so cool though. I
It's
love
so
that.
cute. I love it. I love the idea of like, oh, you based it on this very real thing, and that very real thing is receiving like from that as well.
I mean, to be fair, you turned a bunch of the horses into like little, anime girls, and were like, hey, they just run around a track, and you're like, fuck it, okay. Like, so I think it's cool. I think it's awesome. Best art direction.
Oh, that's gonna be rough. Oh, that one's this category is rough.
I want it. Okay, so when I look at art direction, I I'm not gonna. I have a bias against like realistic art styles. I am
That's
such
fair.
a I am a person that loves the most like unique art style, and I think Hades 2 and like Hollow Knight have that. Now, I don't think that like the other ones are bad in any of those
No.
replacements at all. Although I will say some of the enemies in Clear Obscure definitely get there.
Mm,
But I think art design for me goes to like something like Hades 2
I agree.
or so. Like
I
I don't know.
agree. Hades 2 is I mean, just Hades in general, the art style of Hades as a whole is fantastic.
Mhm.
They genuinely knocked it out of the park, and the art style is phenomenal. To get into more like art stuff, because I chat just so you all know, I did introduce myself and like kind of give a rundown of who I am and what I've done. In my retirement, I'm focusing on art, so like looking at line weight is a very artist thing to do, right? And that is how thin or thick a line is. And the way the person who did the art for Hades 2 uses line weight is stunning. Like they thicken it up right here on the corner of the jaw, but then it becomes thin right here on the jaw line, and that creates emphasis. And it's just I'm sorry. I could go on for days. It's
Well,
great.
like when the stuff that like a person who's casual might not notice, but like you're just gonna you're gonna geek over it because
Oh yeah.
you know about it. And
Mm.
like I look right now, like best score in music, it's gonna go to Clair Obscure, and I'm not taking anything else. Like
Yeah, that's true.
I'm
I
gonna skip this one because I'm going to Clair Obscure. Like
well, it has to.
yeah,
But
it does.
best audio design
Audio
though.
design is hard. Like for me,
I
audio design is
feel
hard because like I love honestly the one that like when I love that's why you talked about gunplay, right? You talked about
yeah.
gunplay earlier, and that's one thing that gets me. Like I want to hear the sound of the gun that goes. Like, and that's why I love with like a lot of these. I think audio design is gonna go to Clair Obscure.
I
Um,
I disagree.
Silent Hill,
No, Death Stranding.
really?
So how do I when you have to also count how much the sound design plays into the game itself, right?
That's fair.
So an example of like phenomenal sound design that I think is really cool. Back when Alien Isolation came out,
Hmm.
right? The sound design of Alien Isolation is insane. Every hiss that you hear has the alien's hiss in it,
True.
blended into the hiss, so that it keeps the tension up, right? I
Hmm.
feel like Death Stranding will take it because of the amount of detail on footsteps, the gear moving around, the like every if you didn't have good sound design in Death Stranding, you wouldn't have a game.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. You know, it's also I've never played Death Stranding.
It is genuinely walking simulator. However, it's all about like appreciating the beauty of the world around you as well. And
Mm,
also it does have a story. I'll be honest, I don't understand it. It's Kojima. Kojima's very esoteric in his like themes. It's well
mhm.
known. But part of the major themes of the game is connectivity and connecting with other people. And like sound plays a great deal of it has a lot of weight in the game because the only sounds you're hearing are the sounds that like you're making or enemies are making.
That's fair. Yeah, no, that sounds.
And then again, like they had a solid soundtrack for the first game. Like there was genuinely really good music on the soundtrack. Um, but that music did not the game didn't depend on the music playing. You like
Mm,
it like because the music would come in and go out. You would actually be more in silence and the sound effects than you would be in music.
that's fair.
So
I can,
that's where my thought line of thinking is like this game wouldn't be as good as it was if it didn't have the insane sound design that it does.
that
Not
yeah,
to
that's I can see that.
not to discount the sound design of the other games. Battlefield 6, like realistic sound design for guns and war, super hard to do.
Hmm.
Especially since like explosions blow mics out,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
the hearing the like a hearing a building or skyscraper falling and that kind of stuff. It just
and
especially when
getting
you're
the
in your
crumble of the rocks.
yes, like it can give you this like sense of like oh shit kind of moment, and there's a lot to it. I know. Like now we have this one too, best adaptation. I think it's gonna go to The Last of Us season two, but personally, I really liked Devil May Cry. I,
I so many people didn't though.
yeah, I know a lot of people didn't, and I found like a lot of people who are fans of Devil May Cry. As a person who's not, who a person who's, and that's why I was like,
Yeah.
this is not made for the person who's played every single game.
Yep.
This is
Same
made
thing
for
with
people like me.
Castlevania. It's the same group.
Yes, like what was I gonna say?
I think. Hang on.
Yeah, so I think that yeah, I think Splinter Cell I didn't get a chance to watch. Um, but I wanted to.
I think that I think that like on a stylistic level, you're correct, but I think what'll win is the Minecraft movie.
Really?
Because of the virality of chicken jockey,
Oh fuck.
right?
That's
Let's be
fair.
real. I feel like and also because I think, hang on, if I'm not mistaken, it did phenomenally well in theaters.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, if your movie, don't make your movie bad. Make your movie meme worthy. It'll last longer.
That's true.
if you
It's true.
if you make your movie meme worthy, it'll blow up so much more.
It's very true.
Yeah.
I if I hang on, I'm looking for like its not necessarily its ratings. I'm looking for how much it cost to make versus how much it made.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, not even by a mile. Its budget was 150 million, and it made almost $1 billion in
Oh
profit.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
You're right.
so I would say in comparison, uh, Splinter Cell Death Watch, as good as it might have been, I've seen previews of it. Um, Probably isn't really in consideration. Until Dawn, nobody who ever played any of the games of Until Dawn liked the Until Dawn movie, so no
That's
one
what I was
liked it.
gonna say. Yeah. I couldn't get myself to go watch it because of the fact that like I played Until Dawn, loved it, and then I heard it was like not even close to the original, and I was like, why? This is only Until Dawn in name.
Yeah, that's basically what they did with it. Last of Us season 2 is controversial for the same reason that Last of Us 2 was controversial, and in my opinion, it's because people didn't understand the message of Last of Us 2.
That's fair. That's fair.
And so like of all of these, the only one without fan controversy is Minecraft movie and Splinter Cell Death Watch, and between the two, I think Minecraft movie will take it.
Probably then. Yeah, based on that, it'll probably be best narrative.
Oof. Oh no. That's going to be rough. This is going to be, I mean, it's probably going to go to Claire Obscure.
Yeah, it's probably gonna go to Clay Obscure.
If not, it'll probably, oh, it's going to be between like Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei.
Yeah, I never played the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I haven't even played Ghost of Yotei yet. I want it. I just haven't gotten it yet because there's been a lot of games that have been cheaper that I've just been like, okay, Arc Raiders. I went and I grabbed that new free play one where winds meet.
Yeah.
Like, so
Really quick, running back to just Fortnite really quick. Interesting fact about Fortnite, something that I can speak to, but I can't speak a lot on. Fortnite is developed by Respawn. Respawn was formed by a group of people that used to work for Infinity Ward.
well, yeah.
So I wish them a great deal of success. I genuinely do. But I am real tired of Fortnite.
That's fair. I would be too though.
Yeah. That said, I do think that Fortnite should take best of community support.
I think Fortnite will.
Yeah.
They just do the best with it.
They might lose to Baldur's Gate. Maybe.
Yeah, they might lose to Baldur's Gate. I have a chance. Games for Impact is South of Midnight. Oh, South of Midnight's so good. Like I haven't played Lost Records. I heard was good too. I haven't played a Despolote. I've never seen that or Consume Me or Wander Stop.
Let me find out more about Despolote, because if that's like a Spanish game, I will play it. It's a soccer game. Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, this one looks like fun.
Oh, this looks like it'll make you cry.
Wander Stop looks like fun. Like I'm excited for that one. I think so. I want South of Midnight to take it. I think that game is amazing.
Wander Stop has really pretty art.
It does. It does have really pretty art.
Oh, it's also Annapurna Interactive. I like Annapurna. I think they're a good studio.
Yeah.
Well, Annapurna is I say studio because it is also a film studio.
Yes.
And I think that they produce really good films. I think their movies I think their games are also fairly solid.
I don't remember a whole lot of Annapurna games though.
If I remember correctly, What Remains of Edith Finch?
Oh, okay. Yep. Never mind.
Was Annapurna?
Yes. Ashen.
Outer Wilds was that? Journey. I loved Journey. Okay. It makes me sad that the game is like people who experience Journey now, they don't have the same experience that players did when Journey first came out because nobody's on the game anymore. So you don't have that like heart-wrenching moment where your partner like dies on you. Also, Unfinished Swan, phenomenal game.
I gotta finish that
So
one.
good.
Solar Ash was good. Neon White was good. Stray.
Stray was phenomenal, but they
The
published
Thirsty
Stray.
Suitors I still have to play. Open Roads. Wait, if they made Journey. If they made Journey. Hold on.
They might have well, remember they're a publisher and a developer, so they might have just published something and not have been the developer. That's why you'll see developer listed separately. If there's a name, then it was somebody who was, I think, employed by them. I
Okay, there's
think.
one
I could be wrong.
yeah, you're probably right. When we looked up best, was it best? Did we go to best indie yet? No, probably not.
No, not yet. No.
Best multiplayer. Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, Elden Ring, Night Rain.
How do you not have Helldivers in here?
Because I don't think Helldivers didn't come out this year, did it? No, it was
But
Helldivers.
Helldivers is in best community and
best ongoing.
oh, I see. So it probably doesn't. Okay, it's not new.
Yeah, this one's gonna be tough. I've heard Peak is really good, and I've never played Night Rain.
I can
but
speak to Peak being fantastic.
I heard
Fiction,
Peak was so
though.
good.
I've heard really good things about Split Fiction. I've been meaning to play it.
There's a game that's not on here that actually bothers me.
Hmm?
And it's in best debut indie and it's not in best debut indie or independent.
What is it?
Sword of the Sea.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
Sword of the Sea. I'm gonna be one of those people to be like, Sword of the Sea got snubbed. Like, the entire
You know what? That's fair. Oh my god, look at the water physics in here.
Oh, it's beautiful. The game it's not long. It's only like 3-4 hours, but it is gorgeous. It's the same the same artist of Journey.
Makes sense, yeah.
Take Journey and
it's the same. It is the same developer.
Yeah,
that is Journey. That makes sense. They worked so hard on their sand physics.
Mm-hmm. So right now we have.
If I look at so good. I need to play this.
If I look at independent games, Absalom I've never played. Ball X Pit I do have it on my Xbox. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Blueprints
Blueprints should win.
Blueprints, Clair Obscur, Hades 2,
and Clair Obscur is probably. Ooh.
I think I've heard nothing but positives for Blueprints.
But equally, I've also heard nothing but positives about everything else on this list too.
I know this is a
tough year.
This is such an indie based, like tough indie style. Like if you want indies to go into this mainstream, this is it. This is where you guys were waiting for your indie breakthroughs.
So here's where I might concede a little bit. I will be okay with Clair Obscur winning in best indie if either Dispatch or Blueprints win in best debut indie.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Because if Clair Obscur takes both, I feel like that's deeply unfair.
I do too. There should be when I look at these other couple, I would personally like to see if they're going to win best independent games, best debut one should also be going to something a little bit different. Mega Bonk I heard was really good too.
I heard Mega Bonk was good too.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be if Clair Obscur doesn't win it, Blueprints will.
Yeah, I think so. Well, but I feel like Dispatch is so underrepresented here because they should have been in there for acting.
It should have.
It really should have. But I feel like it's so late in the game.
I think Laura Bailey deserved it as Invisigal. Laura Bailey was Invisigal and she did phenomenal. Like as the character as her and just so good. Best VR/AR game, Alien, Rogue Incursion, Arcane Age, Ghost Town, Marvel's Deadpool VR. I can only imagine. Oh, I heard the Midnight Walk.
There is a good reason why Dispatch is not on there.
Why?
Because it's an episodic game. Not all the episodes are out, right?
They just came out on the 12th. So if they were supposed to drop by like the 11th, the last one came out on the 12th.
Yeah, so episode 7 and 8 came out on the 12th, and those were the last two in the season.
Yeah.
So that makes sense because like November 12th, I think it's too late to nominate like Laura Bailey and well, I guess Laura Bailey's throughout the whole series, but I could
Right.
see
Yeah, you
maybe
can't
I could see maybe them holding off on giving it major nominations
next
because
year.
the last two episodes weren't. Yeah,
So would they move that to next year then? Could they
prob
actually
I
be
would
done?
hope so.
I would think so. I mean, it reminds me of what they did with like God of War when God of War Ragnarok dropped like super like in 2022, like right before to try to get those
Mhm.
awards. Content creator of the year. I'm not on here, so I don't care.
Uh, uh, give it to Moist. Give it to Critical.
I would give it to
I
Critical.
I don't I don't there is not a world that exists that I want Kai Cenat to win anything.
I think Moist Critical, especially for doing Sonar and Dispatch, really had me.
I don't
This
know
one
Sakura Miku.
this one's gonna be interesting, and this is most anticipated. And it is GTA 6 is winning. So Marvel Wolverine, Resident Evil Requiem, The Witcher 4,
GTA
007.
6 did GTA 6 might not win only on account of the fact that it just got pushed back again.
I think I
People
think
are bitter about that.
they are. There's a lot of good ones on here actually. These 6 are actually pretty solid.
I feel like Witcher might get it.
I think The Witcher could take it.
The Witcher might take it. It'll probably be GTA or Witcher. That said, a 007 game? I'm sorry. Excuse me? I
Well,
beg your finest pardon? Are you giving me another GoldenEye? Because I will take another GoldenEye.
it's gonna be good. They're the best fighting game. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, 2XKO. I think 2XKO is going to win this. Capcom Fighting Collection 2, Fatal Future, City of the Wolves, and Virtua Fighter 5. I think 2XKO is going to take this one, actually. That's the only one that I've
I
heard that
will.
people have been up about.
I'll have to take your word for it. I'll be honest. Despite the fact that my first conversation with you was which fighting game character, uh, whose style would you take? Uh, very apt. I am. While I have played a number of fighting games, much when I was younger. I think the last big one I played was Mortal Kombat 11.
Mm.
Um, outside of the Smash Brothers games,
Right.
which
Yeah.
I know you said you count as a party game and not as a fighting game.
It's like it's weird because it depends on the version, right? So like Brawl is super party for Brawl, but like Smash Ultimate, you can tell they wanted to go more of the competitive route. So there's like I call it platform fighter.
That's fair, and I still hold to my answer. The answer is Kirby.
The answer is Kirby.
The answer is Kirby because Kirby is an Eldritch god. There are video essays about it. It is a thing.
So
Kirby
that's
Kirby can
acting game.
imbibe galaxies.
So I need Kirby's just an HP Lovecraft. You just can't see him, kind of like John Cena.
He's more like so I think the I know and I agree with you your feelings on HP Lovecraft too as well in terms of like he was a racist and that it does make it very difficult to separate the art from the artist. And I feel like you can do that with some things and I feel like with other things you cannot and I don't think you can like especially with like so I played the Sleeping City and there are actual factual monkey people in the game and they're taken directly from the literature and I'm like I believe that game came out in like 2018 2019 something like that. I was like this is the year of our lord 2018 2019. This does not belong here.
No, and as much as this is why if it was me, I would put some sort of disclaimer up saying talking about it because I've said before, I'm like, I love the work from HP Lovecraft. I think it's so unique, so interesting, intricate. It is some of the coolest shit ever. but fuck this guy. Like,
Genuinely. Genuinely. And that's kind of like, not to get too deep in the weeds on political stuff, but that's kind of how I feel a little bit about Harry Potter.
nope, that's fair.
You know,
I feel the same.
I think that world is very enriched, and I think it's very easy to get yourself like kind of like into the world in a sense, right? But I also fuck J.K. Rowling.
Fuck Queen.
Fuck J.K. Rowling.
Fuck
As
J.K. Rowling. So I
uh,
think best
best
action here.
action.
Hades 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, Shinobi,
Oh
Battlefield 6, and Doom
no!
the Dark
Oh, this
Ages.
is such a hard year.
I love Doom the Dark Ages.
I feel like Doom should take it.
I love Doom the Dark Ages. I actually felt that when you give me a shield with a saw blade. Like I was like at that point, I'm like, huh.
But I also okay, so I will say this: the video games awards. I looked it up really quick while we were chatting. It is made up of 90%. The jury is media, so people who
Yep,
work within gaming, the gaming industry, and
yep,
then 10% is fan driven,
yep,
right? I feel like from a media standpoint, it's probably going to go to Hades too.
yep.
But I think from a fan standpoint, it's like Ninja Gaiden 4 or Shinobi because those fan groups love
Oh yeah.
their games
Um,
so much.
what I like doing, like when we do, because I'll do one. I'm gonna do a stream. I'm gonna have to check out what the other couple other guys
Mm.
about it when these come through. Is I'll do like what I think should win versus what NC wins. And
Yeah,
so we like trying to do that. It's just a really long stream. I'm not gonna
it is a long
lie.
stream. I know,
Innovation. Ooh,
back when I used to work for DeFranco, because we did used to report on like the video game awards and stuff, I used to have to like sit and watch through.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I get really bored with it. So like, um,
Award ceremonies are tough to watch, especially when you don't have any like there's no stake in it, you know?
yeah. Well, that's why like you just got your Switch and you're like, that's amazing. You're sitting down there playing Pokemon. So innovation and accessibility. I love accessibility. I love anytime they have any kind of accessibility. I
South
think
of
Doom the Dark
Midnight's
Ages
on
did a really good job with it by giving you a. I love the fact they gave you a slider for
there.
increasing the speed of it. So if you wanted it faster, like Doom Eternal, you could. If you wanted it slower, you could. I like that kind of stuff. Because I believe wholeheartedly accessibility is important.
I do. I agree. I agree, and I think that there are too many games, especially now since women are now discovering that they're colorblind. That's not. I wish that were funny, but have you seen on TikTok the blue couch lady? Okay, so there's a woman who was like, "Hey, I'm trying to sell this couch." And I took a picture of it and I sent it to my friend. It is a blue couch, but my friend keeps telling me that it's gray. What color is this couch? And when you see the couch, it's gray. It is the grayest gray you've ever did seen. It is so gray.
Damn, she just fully.
And the thing was is that she found out that she's colorblind to red and green.
Hmm.
And women being colorblind is overlooked in medical science because it's always
Just like
attributed to
everything
men
else.
only. Too long of stories to get into, but
And
uh the color blindness is understudied in women, and so a bunch of women found out through this TikTok that they're colorblind.
well, shit.
And now there's like branches of it. Like there's this woman that's like, everybody tells me that this couch is red, but I think this couch is brown. And I'm like, oh girl, that is a red couch. That is burgundy, solid red. And it's because she was colorblind uh to specific reds and stuff like that. So one of the things that I think is important in video games is colorblind accessibility.
Yes, I agree.
Because when you have players who are colorblind, how in the world are you going to see that red icon over there if you can't see red?
That's true.
And that's I think an underlooked and underappreciated part of gaming is being able to do that. And I love the accessibility options now in games that contain bugs,
Hmm.
like having bug phobia. Like Peak currently introduced an area that contains spiders and bugs. You can change all of the spiders and bugs to be the doll in the game instead,
Mm,
so that you don't have to see the spiders and bugs if
that's
you
fair.
are arachnophobic. Same thing with the backyard game Grounded. Grounded is a game that is genuinely like your main enemy are spiders, large, incredibly detailed spiders. You can turn them into coffee beans.
That's fair. I
Uh,
like that. I like that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Like that's important. Because yeah, like phobias, it's a real thing.
hmm
So it's
So the more accessibility that you give as a game, I'm proud of you. And I feel like Doom might take it, but sports games like
sports games
Sports
do a lot.
FC6, they genuinely cater more to the disabled community, I think, than any other game genre. Especially like racing games and like football games. They have so many innovative like game pads that they've released, controllers that they've released, controllers with the mouth that they've released, and um, I think that that's wonderful. And I feel like the more people you have playing games, the better off games will be.
Overall, yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Absolutely. Best family game, Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to win.
Yeah. Mario Kart. I mean, there's so
The Sonic Racing,
Nintendo,
Sonic Racing
Lego,
Crossroads.
Nintendo.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
they're
it's a
like
very silly list.
we only win one category and that's all we care about. Best sports game, I I think it's going to go down to Sonic Racing Crossroads and Rematch.
I'm not familiar with Rematch.
Rematch is a soccer one I've heard that was really big for a while, and then Sonic Racing. If
Ooh.
Sonic Racing wins over Mario Kart World, oof. Oof.
I mean,
Please.
but hang on. Is Sonic is still owned by Sega, but Sega is still owned by Nintendo, right?
Sure.
No, they don't. Sega still owns it. Okay.
Oh, well then damn. Yeah. Sorry. Mario, like Mario Kart World. You need honestly, I think it'd be funny for best onward. Just make a bunch of more maps for Mario Kart 8 again and you'll be fine.
I kind of hope that Sonic wins now.
I kind of hope that Sonic wins, and I'm like,
Listen,
see, I told you.
listen, I'm gonna be very for real. Uh, I don't hate Nintendo. I'm just gonna be very straightforward in that. I don't hate Nintendo. I do think Nintendo has ruled over their gaming stratosphere for far too long, and I am glad to see them get booted.
I think, yeah, I would agree. I think Nintendo's at a point where I think people are seeing it for what it is. It's just another company. Like the
Yeah.
nostalgia glasses are going off. And like people who are younger also too, they don't have that same kind of nostalgia that some of us have for
hmm
Nintendo. So they're kind of just seeing it as is. So like for us who are like, I can't believe Nintendo would do this. Yeah, they'd always been like this. So like
Yeah.
best esports game, esports athlete, and esports team. Those have never been too big for me because I don't really watch a whole lot of esports.
Uh,
But some people
I
do.
I feel like it would be unfair for Counter-Strike 2 to win because they've probably been on this list every year for like 10 years. Same thing with like Dota and League. Let other games have a chance. Let the Mobile Legends or Valorant win that. Give other esports games a shot. We need to diversify.
I agree. I'm looking it up actually right now. Counter Strike has been recognized in the Video Game Awards since 2014 when it
Yeah.
began to produce. It makes it for 10
Holy
years.
Jesus. Yeah, no. Counter-Strike, sit down.
Just boom, 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 boom the entire time. Counter Strike was like, nah.
Hey, what like did hang on. I might be being too hyperbolic for this.
What is it? Back in my day, we had triangle boobies and nobody complained.
Yeah, I will give Counter-Strike listen, I'm gonna give it its due rewards, right? Because so many things have come out of Counter-Strike 2, right? The reason you have Prop Hunt is because of Counter-Strike,
Mm.
right? So game recognized game, however, get out of the categories. What are you doing? What are you doing? Let other smaller games get a chance.
I want to start switching up the name of best ongoing game to just like biggest on game there is.
Truly. Truly, but like, how do you have this and not like, if you're gonna have a perpetual like list, why if sub out Counter Strike 2 and put Overwatch in, right? Like mix it up a
Mm-hmm.
little.
Oh yeah.
If you're gonna keep nominating the same ones, why is StarCraft not here?
Oh yeah. No, StarCraft should be like it was. It's just it's crazy. I mean, I think this is a year that I am really excited. This is
A
the
big
year of the
year.
indie,
Yeah.
where these indie games are now getting put on the map. These are the big ones that you're gonna see, and I'm stoked for it. I'm happy for them.
I
Um,
I have so much love for Claire Obscure. I hope it wins as much as possible. I hope Ghost of Yote wins. I hope there's so many
I
good
hope it
things.
doesn't win best indie debut, and I hope it goes to Dispatch. But that's just me. But like,
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
so,
Dispatch should get recognition. I
it
don't
should,
deny that.
it
Dispatch
really
should
should.
get recognition.
But all right. Well, I appreciate you being up on here.
Yeah, of course. This
Let them know where they can catch you. So
so I'll be honest, most of my social media accounts are very quiet right now. I am doing an art retrospective of like my old art on my TikTok channel, which is this same name. This is Spara. Um I just got a microphone, so now I can use my own voice for it. Because I'm recording on my iPad, right?
oh,
Um, so I'm very scuffed is the correct term for how I'm going through. But I've been working real hard on my art journey, and you can follow me there. I do also occasionally upload to Instagram. Same handle. I keep everything pretty ubiquitous. You can also find me on Twitch. But I don't stream as much as I used to. Every now and again.
that's
Uh,
fair.
I do a lot of stream watching. I
That's
lurk.
even more fair.
But
Well,
yeah, definitely TikTok. You'll probably find most of my. You'll find my artwork, and then Instagram. You'll find like everything I've ever made.
awesome. Alrighty, and for everyone else who knows, you can catch me on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. I don't do a whole lot on there. Don't catch me on there, and also on Threads. I don't post a whole lot on there. Don't catch me on there. So, with all that being said, I'm Taylor from Afro Fish OG, and I will catch you all in the next one.